Welcome to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Pitch to William Abreu. High fly shot deep into the alley. That's way back there. And that ball is gone. It is out of here. Abreu again. And the Red Sox break it open. A 3-run laser beam.
The 3-2. Shohei hits this one to left. It's carrying over the wall. He delivers again. Ohtani, a home run. Tom Hanks must have called it. Magic called it. And the Dodger fans are looking forward to seeing that for years to come.
BYU averaging just over 81 points per game this year. That was 26th in the country. Sears, the lefty, knifes a three-pointer. Sets up Diamante. Both of these teams with big rotations. They both go deep. And Sears rattles in another three-pointer. All those experienced bench players from BYU. Extra pass. Aiden Holloway. He and Mark Sears have it cooking right now.
The clock ticks. The top seed Gators are going to move on and play in the Elite Eight as they beat the Maryland Terrapins in the Sweet 16.
Good morning. Welcome into Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Centris Federal Credit Union. That's DBM Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill. Good day for both of our ball clubs.
Yeah, it was a very good day.
Opening things. Well, I guess yours wasn't opening up, but
Well,
reopening up.
according to all you yahoos,
Not me.
the fact that they play overseas early is the dumbest thing ever. So if you want to count yesterday's opening day, that's fine.
It's your domestic launch.
Yeah. Oh, jeez.
What?
Would you hit me with legalese? Got your domestic all right.
No, I like the Japan games.
Tokyo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got live
all
sports.
the way to Tokyo.
Anytime there's live sports when we're doing the show, I'm in.
Nah, yeah, I'm with you.
So I'll take the 5 o'clock starts.
I still don't understand. I was a little miffed.
Mhm.
Almost put off, if you will.
Oh no.
Oh no, you did.
Oh no.
Oh no, that one actually kind of sounded sincere. Shout out Cam Brohane. Oh no.
Mine was definitely more sincere than Cam's.
Yeah,
Cam's did not
was
give
not sincere at all.
a single dookie that day.
No. Cam let us have it. I don't know why they didn't start the games earlier.
Yeah, in the day.
Yeah, why we
two
going
was the first
207?
pitch, right?
Yeah, Shane, how'd you enjoy that app yesterday, or should I say that crap?
I was not pleased.
Oh,
I didn't get a tune in until like the fourth inning.
Lord have mercy. And it was just fine early.
Yeah.
But then after basically pregame,
Yeah.
we got the old baseball loading.
It was great.
Loading.
Super excited.
Kind of like when I have to take pause. Loading.
I thought something was wrong with my free T-Mobile subscription.
Well, anytime something is free,
Yeah, I get a little skeptical.
you get a little skeptical.
And so I was like, oh man, are they doing a little bait and switch on me here?
I don't, it's not self-explanatory enough, especially for free, so I don't want to be that guy.
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't that easy to navigate.
No, it was a little cumbersome.
Yeah, I don't love the platform.
No. It used to be better.
Well,
MLB TV used to be like the gold standard.
so I put
Major League
I put the
Baseball.
app on my phone.
Yeah.
My TV's hit the skids though.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it happened fast.
Oh no.
Oh no. Yeah, it's now it's about what I can tolerate.
Yeah. But much worse, and we're getting in trouble here.
You're in good.
Getting in the danger zone.
Yeah, highway too.
Yeah. Kenny Rogers.
Loggins.
No.
Yes.
Shane.
Kenny Loggins.
Okay.
Wow.
Not bad.
Old chopped liver.
Kenny Rogers was six-pack.
The gambler.
Kenny Rogers was a lot of things, but he didn't have no highway to the danger zone.
Maybe that's why I always thought it was so strange that, although
He had a lot of surgery.
Kenny Loggins is sort of a weird, isn't he the saxophone guy?
That's Kenny G.
Why are there so many Kennys?
Oh my gosh, they killed Kenny.
You bastards.
Kenny.
So it took all of 3 minutes to get like this.
So I think all of those people are the same person in my head.
Yeah, he said, I don't know. Isn't he the What you just did what I'm notorious for doing. You know, Keith Urban, Travis Tritt, Kenny Chesney.
So I do Keith Urban. Who's the one that died?
I don't know.
Toby Keith.
Toby Keith died?
Yeah, he had cancer or something. He died.
Shane, is that true? Why are we asking?
He
He's
doesn't
getting
know.
too involved.
He doesn't know.
Oh, he's just gonna Google.
So Toby Keith, Keith Urban, and Kenny Chesney all confused me. Even though they're very different people, the name
like Mercy Me and Casting Crowns.
No, I know the difference between there. I spent too much time in church growing up.
Oh, although didn't they do each other's songs?
I don't know. Everybody kind of does everybody's songs in that genre.
Yeah.
There's like 8 worship songs and everybody covers them.
Yeah.
Pretty much. I mean,
no, that's true.
That's like I don't even know who wrote what.
I lean towards Carrie Job and Jeremy Camp. Big Carrie Job fan.
Wouldn't have been my guess. John Jeremy Camp, at least.
I've seen Jeremy Camp in concert.
Have you?
Mm-hmm.
Thought you might be more of like a. Never mind.
Yeah, you're gonna pick somebody black. That's fine. I do like Lecrae. Who you accused me of not liking yesterday.
I thought for some reason you had told me you weren't a huge fan.
No, I like all those guys. Tedaschi, Lecrae.
What do you mean by those guys? Christian rappers?
Sure.
That's fine.
Although I don't like Toby Mac.
Well, what does that have? What is he? One of these things is not like the other.
Although I did like his song. He used to sing this song called Love Is in the House.
Oh, yeah?
I like that song.
Are you a big Andy Mineo guy?
No.
Wonder what's different about those two than all the other ones. Strange.
I don't love the leading.
It's weird.
I don't love the.
Oh, we're not asking leading questions today?
No.
Is it the pace of the songs that you don't like as much?
I actually thought that was a good. Listen, okay.
You like what I did there? That was pretty good.
Really good. I don't think Sam asked like a leading question. I think it was good journalism because Sam tried to get us on Monday, and I gave it pause. I'm like, okay, do they want to play with tempo? I don't think they want to play with tempo.
Yeah.
I think they want, I gave a general snap total. But Sam did have some good, like, I was like, okay, I'm vibing. Then I'm like, no, because I don't think they'll be ready defensively early. And I was like, well, maybe. So I think yesterday with his, go ahead.
Well, and to be fair, like, Wisconsin and BC started kind of fast too, pace-wise.
100%.
So there was some evidence that was maybe something they wanted to do.
And when he gets in a little bit of a rhythm, sometimes they'll go.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay.
I thought it was a fair question.
And it was a good, and I thought Dana was exceptionally good yesterday.
Yeah.
I thought he was an exception.
Even if our guy to kill shorts caught a stray.
When he ran a 4.7.
That was pretty funny.
I had to laugh. I had to seriously laugh because I didn't.
That's something I would say.
Yeah.
It really is.
It is. It is something you would say. But I thought.
No, he was good. Dana was good yesterday.
I thought Dana was good today, and we'll chop that up a little bit. But the lines, the questioning was good.
Yeah, I thought everybody was on their game pretty well yesterday.
It's pretty good.
Especially, I know it can be because availabilities was after the open part of the practice, right? Coach availability.
Yes.
So especially when you have those days where the media can see a few things, sometimes the questions can get away from them a little bit.
Yeah, based on the little short snippet.
Yeah, based on the 10, 15 minutes, whatever they're allowed to see.
Yeah, I did see several things online that I was like, I wouldn't go that far.
So you know what Avery said last night that I thought was actually really funny, and part of the reason I think she's really good at what she does is she messaged a section of the group. She goes, hey, if anybody online is saying that they like have any of these great revelations about what they saw yesterday, they do not. Like, we didn't see enough. There's no takeaways. It's just this nice little treat for the media and therefore the fans because you get some video and stuff like that. But I do think sweeping declarations after a 15-minute period are probably not super wise.
And I think it's what we're trying to refrain from.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Shafe had some really. I'll be curious to read Shafe's stuff. He had some I talked to him for quite a while yesterday.
Yeah.
On the phone in the afternoon. He's pretty smart.
Chafe, yeah.
I like the way he sees things. He's actually a good writer.
Yeah, I would agree.
So I'm kind of partial to 247.
Big Chafe guy.
Yeah, I like them all.
Yeah.
I like them all.
Well, they're the only one that has a Miller North guy on staff. So
I didn't see a lot of people though.
yeah. Were you hiding?
Probably no.
No.
I wouldn't say hiding.
Incognito.
Negro.
Oh.
Incognito.
I don't know if I'm allowed to say that.
No, you're not. No, I would give you permission. It's fine. Negro's not a.
I know, but some people get
not
uncomfortable
offensive.
around it.
If I was like, "Hey, look at that cockazoid," you'd be like, "Oh."
I wouldn't know what you meant, first of all.
Yes, you would. Yes, you would. Knock it off.
Yeah,
You
no.
would. I would be talking to Shane.
My wife won't say that word. Negro.
It's like, what does your wife have against Caucasian? She's Caucasian.
Part of the family.
You know the only word I say?
What's that? Here we go.
That's really funny, Shane.
That is funny.
That's really good.
That's a
Hey, Shane, what color is my shirt today?
That is everywhere.
I know. There's so many of my TikToks that are just like,
I mean, everywhere.
yeah.
The TikTok could be about.
Oh, it comes out of nowhere too.
It could be about rainbows, and
Yeah.
somehow you're gonna hear. It's wild.
Any word that has any of the same consonants in my head always goes to
Just you know why he says that, right?
that's his name, right?
It's his DJ's name.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
His DJ's name is Dijon.
Oh, okay. I knew it had something to do with somebody
Yeah.
involved in the song. It was like either nickname
his
Mustard
DJ's
or
name
whatever.
is Dijon.
Yeah.
So
I didn't at first.
he's affectionately been dubbed
Mustard.
correct.
That makes sense. It's better than having his DJ be named like Grey Poupon or something,
Stone ground. Yellow.
Just yellow.
They
That's
call
it.
me,
Never
they
mind.
Call me yellow.
It's knockoff Mountain Dew.
Never had it.
It's okay. It's fine.
I was never
Never a Mountain Dew
Dew
guy. I liked Diet Mountain Dew a lot for a while. There was a stretch that's about all I drank.
Are you one of those people that think that you could tell the difference between sodas?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Whoa, it's
Yeah.
confident, huh?
Depends on what the sodas are, but like we're talking like Diet Coke or Diet Pepsi, certainly.
But you're not gonna you can't break down like the sugar-free wild cherry versus.
I can tell the difference between Diet Coke and Coke Zero. 100%. It's
Okay.
a very different flavor.
Okay.
Coke Zero tastes more.
I shouldn't be super surprised at that because I can definitely tell the difference between ginger ales.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I also, when it comes to I think everybody can tell the difference between diet and regular, right? Because
Are you
they're-
sure?
Well, I would think
Pop
so.
drinkers?
They're very different flavors.
I'll take your word for it.
But yeah, I'm pretty well versed in the soda space.
It's funny along that deal. Do you know how many different types of mustard I have in my house?
You keeping DJ Dijon in there?
Yep.
So you got Dijon, I assume yellow.
Mhm.
You came up with the Stonehenge one.
Stone ground.
Oh yeah, Stone Ground.
Is that Kenny G?
Kenny Loggins.
Wow.
It's Boys in the Hood. It's Kenny Rogers, the gambler. I think those are the only 3 types of mustard I know.
So I have.
You have spicy yellow
I have spicy yellow,
as opposed to just regular yellow.
and I have a horseradish mustard.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, and then I have an everything bagel mustard, which was a horrible idea.
I didn't know people were mixing that much stuff with mustard.
So everything bagel seasoning is
Phenomenal.
pretty popular, and it's pretty overrated, and it's mildly disgusting.
I like everything bagel seasoning.
I do not.
I'll put it on like some popcorn. Pretty good.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
How's your scope? Minty fresh
Nice.
breath
Like-
game working. Ooh.
Like on the sniper scope? What are we talking
Yeah.
about here?
I have some Danos that adds.
Danos? Oh, seasoning?
Yeah, that adds a crunch.
I was thinking when you said
But I don't buy. So I should have taken advantage of the Dano special that was on the TikTok shop.
when you
'Cause it's expensive.
said Danos, I heard Dannon, and I was like, what does yogurt have to do with this situation?
He
Or
was-
like Danimals?
He was
you know?
really good on Husker Sports Nightly last night. We should have cut that up.
He's always pretty good.
Yeah, he is. He knows what the heck he wants to do.
I say this in all sincerity and not just because I'm a Trev hater. I genuinely do think Nebraska got the better end of that exchange.
Well, we'll see.
We'll
Like-
just see where it goes.
It
Yeah.
seems like he's very effective at what he does.
He's very forward thinking.
He also seems like he's, I don't know if easier to get along with is the right way to put it. It seems like there's often less friction around what he's trying to do.
Like Adele, or a different kind of easy.
Easy like Sunday morning?
There ain't no.
I don't know that Adele song.
in this river. It's a great song that I've been washing my hands in forever.
Oh, gotcha. I
You
don't know.
that song?
I know that part of the song. I don't know where we got easy from.
Because that's the name of the song.
Is it?
Yeah. Yes. I'd call Zoe right now and she'll sing every word.
That's okay. We probably don't need that.
Yeah. Just glad that little menace is back in school.
She feeling better?
She is actually.
That's good.
Which, for her, not being able to be active is
I'll
hard.
say she missed some batting practice.
She did miss softball practice Tuesday.
Yeah.
The girl has 3 bats already. So you know I'm doing it wrong.
It might be a little excessive.
Well, when we're in a hurry and we don't let me do it, you just
Get the wrong one sometimes.
yeah. She's
What's her glove game like at that age? Because she's 6, right?
yeah. So I think that
So she's still doing
the
little itty
whole
bitties.
package. The whole package was found on Facebook Market.
Okay.
She got the backpack, the helmet.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's a steal.
Yeah.
The original bat, which is a 31 inchers, which
That seems big for her size.
it's clearly past her waist.
Okay.
And she's being taught right now,
I don't really know how big
and I
kids
believe
are, so-
correctly so, not to choke up. So they want her to have a bat that she can handle.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So of course, I put it in the old palm of the hand and tell her to hold her arm straight out.
Mm-hmm. See if she can hold it.
How does it feel? You straining? Put it down. But yeah, it's she's back to being active, which is good.
Somebody did that to me because I used pretty heavy bats when I was young.
I did not. 27 and a half, 32 and a half.
So I was doing a 34-31 at like
Jeez.
12, 13 years old.
That's incredible. Were
And-
you a musclehead then too? No, you were a little squirrel with a comb over.
I mean, I was pretty strong though. I was always pretty strong. And so one of the coaches was like, "That bat's way too big for you." And I was like, "I
Who
promise."
swings a 31, 34 and at 13?
That's what
I
I
had a
was,
buddy, Adam Petak. He
what I was
probably
rocking.
He was yoked.
And so a coach was like, "Hey, yeah, that's too heavy for you. You can't use that." And I was like, "I've been using it all year. It's been fine."
I wonder what my buddy Bo used. He was a hockey player, super strong, fast guy.
If hockey players, have real strong wrists.
And he was probably a big lumber guy.
Yeah, he made me hold the thing out, and I was like, "You need me to do the other side? How long you want me to go?"
Wow.
I was a jerk then too.
Ravi here for Lee Haney.
I was there. I was a jerk back then too.
How's your bracket?
Oh, it's terrible.
So I vaulted into third place.
Oh, are you now? Let's
Yes.
do a little quick check on our friends.
Yes, and the 2 ahead of me have Flo Rida.
Okay.
Both of them.
So that you got a differentiator there. You're good to go.
Yeah, but the next round is the separator, clearly. So I'm not allowing myself to be happy because I'm the only one of the bunch that does not have Duque in the Final Four.
Well, you must have been pretty happy last night then.
With the way Bama played?
Yeah.
Yeah, they looked outstanding.
Good Lord.
They're capable.
Yeah.
I mean, they're a handful when they're dialed.
I was surprised BYU didn't get more on them. But I think it kind of
pretty good.
Yeah,
Oh,
it-
you just meant because it's Bama and we've seen teams touch 90.
yeah, they get a little loose with it.
Oh,
and-
yeah.
But I think the Avalanche was a little too much for them. They kind of had a hard time keeping their head above water.
Yeah.
And that's what I did. I said that yesterday with Austin. The one thing I was worried about was the pace.
So I
Because
was
BYU doesn't play that
I was
fast.
sitting outside and I was watching it on the TV, and I couldn't really gauge the pace because I wasn't using volume.
Mhm.
Volume. Hopefully, I'm never using volume.
That's a different thing.
I wasn't using volume.
Okay.
So
There's only one thing you should be using.
What's that? I mean, people may say that'll get old. That's not going to get old for me.
I find it very amusing.
Yeah, I kind of like it.
So you weren't listening to the volume.
So it was hard for me to gauge tempo.
Yeah. It was. I felt like that game was moving incredibly fast.
Hey, Shano, did you see Ryan's comment? Oh no, you fixed it because he said better. Thanks. This is my first time seeing Ryan. Hi, Ryan.
Hey, Ryan.
Good. We don't really. Do we know Ryan?
I don't know.
I just said good morning and hello.
Which Ryan is? I don't think I know
Hello.
that Ryan.
Another Adele song.
Hello.
No,
Good morning again.
It's me. No, that's the right song, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
But you don't want to hear it right now.
Yeah. Good morning to Michaela. She said good morning. I keep forgetting to come find you guys here.
Here we are.
Yeah.
Every morning.
Oh, T-Mac's in early. T-Mac had jokes yesterday. Oh, I guess Toby Keith did die. It is confirmed by Kobe.
Listen.
No, neither one of you guys Googled it.
Well, no, because I knew he was dead. I'm the one that said it.
Oh, we've been wrong before.
I was pretty confident he was dead.
Au contraire, mon frère.
Oh, so you're a French's mustard guy.
I don't have French's. I have
That was a joke. You're doing the French thing there.
I know. I'm well aware. I think we have Plochmans.
I don't even know. I don't even recognize what we're doing.
Yeah, you still cook stuff in the microwave. We talked about you yesterday.
Who?
Bringing your food to temp in the microwave.
Well, listen, you got to do what you got to do.
It's incredibly troubling.
Sometimes I'm just there for speed, got to get it done.
You and Lightning McQueen.
Yeah, exactly.
I hope the app works better today, though.
Me too. I was upset. Because I was excited to watch. I was ready. I was
yeah,
ready.
you had the what? Were you 307?
Yeah. So it was pretty messed up for about an hour.
Did it settle back down?
Yeah, I got into it probably third or fourth inning, I think.
Yeah.
So I think it was a little after 4.
Orioles had scored 6 runs by then.
Yeah.
You're like 1-0, man, we're in trouble. How about your boy?
Which one?
Raphael hitting DH.
He's supposed to. That's what he's got to do. It's his job.
Not what we heard in spring training.
No, he backpedaled by the end. He did. He was doing his little best Michael Jackson moonwalk, just working on back. Working on back.
Alrighty.
I
hated the gold trim on the Dodgers uniforms too, by the way.
Really?
Yeah.
I think it looks kind of nice.
It reminded me of the old school Omaha Royals.
Yeah.
So no.
Oh, out on the Omaha Royals? That's rude.
No.
All the way out. I'm going to call Marty and tell him that you hate AAA baseball in Omaha.
We're talking to him next week, and he knows that would be a lie.
DB against AAA baseball in Omaha. It's sad.
It's they were flirting with the whole Spikes name, and it wasn't.
The gold trim was hard to see in the highlights.
Yeah,
on the smaller screen.
Was it?
Yeah.
What were you watching it on?
I'm just on the phone.
Your Sony Watchman?
Yeah.
My dad used to have one of those.
The Kansas City Royals will do a gold trim version too. I like that one too.
Yeah, keep the Royals stuff the Royals and keep the Dodgers. Keep the main thing the main thing.
I think everybody should just sprinkle a little gold into the mix.
Now you're riding with the Royals?
I mean, I like the local flavor.
Yeah, get out of here. You can't do that.
Why not? You let Shane do it with Raiders and Lions and Bears. Oh my.
Yeah. That was really little kiddish sounding.
I know.
You let Shane do it. Really?
How come Shane gets to?
I have a response for that.
What's up?
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Also, when have I ever?
This dude is rolling with Screaming A this morning.
Stephen A.
I'm so sick of seeing this dude on my timeline.
I'm here to tell you right now.
Now you got Nick Wright weighing in. Everybody's weighing in.
Nick Wright bothers me so much.
Why don't you like Nick Wright?
It's his hair. It's just that's 100% honest.
You're such a hater.
I put it in a ponytail or something, man.
When did you get so shallow? Like what? Should I ask your mom? At what age did the shallow? When did that start?
Like Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga. We're in the shallows. I think it's early. I think I've been like this for a while. People are all like, it's about inner beauty and what people think with their minds. I was like, yeah, but look how stupid he looks. That hair is distracting.
Yeah, you're incredible.
What am I supposed to do with that? I thought it was fine when he was bald.
Mhm.
I also didn't realize it was a totally bald by choice situation, or I don't know if he went to Turkey and had one of those transplants or anything. But that dude, I thought he was like had to be bald, like a Scott Van Pelt situation. And then all of a sudden one day during COVID, I wake up and he's got like Crypt Keeper hair going on.
Oh wow.
And I was like, man, like do something with it. Don't just let it hang there. It looks like a little 14-year-old Victorian boy. Like, get out of here with that.
A 14-year-old. Put that in the old Google
We're going to see what comes up. Maybe I should AI that.
14-year-old Victorian boy. Really? The whole screaming a LaFraud thing is like if Iowa plays Wisconsin. I don't want anyone to win.
He kind of looks like Lord
I don't
Farquaad from your favorite movie.
Oh,
with
Shrek?
the hair. Yeah, he's got the little Farquaad hair.
Farquaad was that's one of the better Shreks. That's the one with all the good songs in it too. That I would sing the other day.
We got a lot of like Oliver Twist looking kids right now.
14th century Victorian boy. That's a good pull. That's a really good pull.
We've got a lot of like, please sir, may I have some more? I was thinking more of like an aristocrat, less of a peasant.
So anyway, back to LaFraud and screaming A.
Yeah, they're yelling at each other.
Are
a
you
lot.
cheering for anybody in that?
I'm here to tell you right now.
So you know how some people, when they don't like either team, they're like,
They just don't pay attention.
I'm rooting for a big meteor.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I feel about that situation.
Lucky for you guys.
Just a big asteroid.
Yeah, just like knock both of those people like out of the, like not actually kill them, but just knock them out of my TV for a while.
Yeah, they somehow one of the topics was, could LeBron play until he was 44?
LeBron. Isn't he currently like 40?
And I'm like, another 4 years of this? Please, dear Lord, no.
I don't know what level, but he can certainly play till he's 44. But
you don't foresee a cliff coming?
I saw a cliff coming like a decade ago, and it hasn't got here yet.
Yeah,
so
they said the same thing about Brady.
Yeah, and he played till 45 in a sport that's much more physically demanding. So, yeah, I don't think 44 is out of the question, especially he's got the best pharmacist in the world.
It's freaking bats.
Oh, you're on that too?
100. He's 40.
That's not that old.
To look and play like that still? Yes, it is, because he's the only one who's ever done it. He's either a one of one genetically, which is possible, or he's a one of one genetically, and he's got the best pharmacist in the world.
Well, you're a funny dude.
Like, we're sitting here you're telling me that you think at like 55, The Rock is just
I'm
like.
kind of with you. The conversations about the spring fling yesterday took some dark turns. Like,
what do you mean?
Well, I don't know how excited people are to put their bodies at risk, and I'm like, in my head, I'm like, man, sign me up.
Yeah,
It's exciting.
I'll play for one side, both sides, no sides.
That's how I felt about the media thing. I was like, let's go.
You're not going to just control it.
Yeah. I mean, they're not going to do like a full-on like tackle game or anything, right?
No.
It's going to be like a 7-on-7 or a flag game.
You know my idea, if you really want to get the Team Compton and Team Foreman, is just do skills like throwing, catching.
Yeah.
Like just basic skills, because you'd be surprised at how many grown-ups cannot throw a football.
Oh yeah, it's wild,
and I think it's hilarious.
Oh, it's very funny.
Right, so you saw me at Foaling, right?
Yeah.
I would be that guy. I want to.
That's what I want to. That's all I want to do.
Have a throwing competition.
I just want to throw. That's all.
Or catching, or it doesn't have to be.
A lot of people can't catch either.
No, I know.
It's wild.
I know.
It was hard.
And people hear 7-on-7 and they freak out. It's like, I don't want to get hurt. I'm like, okay.
It's the running most people like, because they're afraid they're going to pull a hammy or an Achilles or something, which I get.
I watched my buddy, who's in fantastic shape, Velan, tear his Achilles, and a drill where he moved about 4 feet, literally 4 feet.
Well, that's why, like, I kind of think it's silly in terms of the I don't want to get injured thing. Like, I saw Dre Greenlaw take 2 steps off a sideline and blow an Achilles.
Excited about coming back on the field to play defense.
And, like, he's an elite athlete.
How about
obviously.
what's his buckets from hooping first weekend?
Oh, Adams?
Yeah. Rain.
That's what I mean. Like, there's elite athletes.
It's going to rain.
It's going to rain. You've got these like elite athletes that are doing it, taking 2 steps. I mean, most of us don't move fast enough to pop an Achilles.
Yeah.
To be fair.
When you're elite.
Do you want to clear your throat?
No.
Well, you are on one this morning, I tell you.
When you're elite, you don't need a good pharmacist. All you need is.
Oh, it helps with the cramping. Helps with the cramping, allegedly. No,
Hey,
I think.
Do you like Joseph's bit?
I think it's my favorite. Dude, you know what?
Husker wrestling.
You know what made me mad on Monday is we talked about Husker wrestling for like an hour.
Yeah.
He came in like an hour later. I was like, Husker wrestling. I was like, eat an entire bag of crap, Joseph. We covered it.
Oh, see, KP, he knows what it is. He said when he was 30, he tore his Achilles getting out of bed.
Yeah. One of the guys.
That's a
nightmare.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, good on you, Ken.
The my old head basketball coach that I coached under, he did 2 of his pre-32 years old, I think.
But he did both Achilles?
Yeah, or he did the same one twice, but he did it twice. I don't remember what it was. It was both or same one twice. But he like in great shape, always has been in great shape, but plays pickup ball all the time. Just popped it twice.
So that would be the thing that I would be afraid of, because that apparently is the most uncontrollable.
Pickup ball?
I can control my body enough, like I could jog if I had to,
In like a 7-on-7?
where I wouldn't worry about my ACLs.
Yeah.
But the Achilles, you just apparently never know.
Yeah, sometimes just ready to go. But that's kind of my point. Like if it's gonna go, it'll happen when you're stepping out of bed. Like if it's gonna go, it's gonna go.
Yeah, I don't know if this is gonna turn out like they want.
What do you mean?
Just
in terms of participants?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, hey, Coach Rule, if you need a media guy, I'm in.
Coach Rule.
I want to play.
Coach Rule would make that thing pretty hard.
I want to wing it.
You know, it was hard.
He said, "Yo, Joseph." He said, "Yo, I ain't stopping the Husker wrestling, and got a life to live, so you can eat an entire bag." That's the most my man Joseph has ever said.
Literally ever said.
All right, then, Joseph.
I
can cheer for him because I'm always nice to him anyway, and he's talking to you.
Yeah, I would say because you like it when people are mean to me.
What's in a bag of?
I'm just saying, it doesn't seem like.
And you know what's funny about the whole entire bag is you're the one that, like, off air will say when you're bothered by somebody, you'll tell them what they can go eat.
It's usually not eating. It's usually something else that they can do an entire thing of, and then all the way off. But I mean, if you're that busy, I don't really understand how
Husker wrestling.
How he has time to come in here and chime Husker wrestling every day, but I'm just wondering, you know.
That's all.
I mean, maybe it's on him for not appreciating Husker wrestling enough to think we would lead with it. You know, maybe that's a him problem.
Yeah, it was an hour.
Yeah, we got after it.
I liked it.
I don't know anybody else that's talking to Mark Manning on the air.
I liked it a lot.
You going all Forrest Gump on me?
Although that was one of my, it's not top 10, but it's a movie that I enjoy.
I enjoy it too. It is unintentionally really funny.
Forrest Gump?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think that was the purpose, but there's some lines in there that kill me.
I thought the funniest line wasn't even any words at all.
What? Yeah, not. I'm aware.
All I could think of was Shane.
Oh, come on, Shane.
She's like, it's okay, Shane. It's okay. Put your head right here.
Give him a hug. Pat him on the side of the head. Coming up on the show today.
Sorry, Shane.
Coming up on the
my dude.
Coming up on
Why
the
the f is Shane walking in there?
Coming up on the show today, we got Jim Verghese
Shane. He's the glue.
from inside Nebraska.
Somebody fibbed. I didn't see him yesterday either.
Got Mike Sautter from Hurrdat Sports NB Preps, and we'll talk to our guy, Matt Vrzal.
Yeah,
9:45.
Flip a coin.
Just like the Targaryens, flip a coin, let the gods decide.
I do have some O-line questions for him, though.
Did you you weren't a Game of Thrones guy, were you?
No, and I don't feel great about it.
That's fine.
Because you know why?
Why?
I'll be 100% honest. I don't like admitting this stuff out loud.
What's that?
I'm a little intimidated.
By what?
Being able to follow along.
I didn't think it was as complicated as everybody made it seem. I think part of the issue.
Unfortunately, though, you are relatively bright.
Appreciate that. I think part of the issue was when it was happening in seasons, there'd be like 2 years between seasons, so people would forget stuff. When you binge it, I think it's much easier to follow along.
You can't binge 5 seasons, can you?
I mean,
How long are the episodes?
They're a full hour.
So that's arguably my favorite time period too.
Oh,
so
just kind of like medieval.
I would
looking.
be all in.
Yeah.
But I am a little intimidated.
So when I say binge, I just mean so you watch, even if you're watching a couple episodes a day and it takes you a couple months to go through all 5 seasons, which I know you would go faster than that because you get through stuff. But that would be much easier than like watching 8 episodes, waiting 2 years for the next season. Like that's where people had a hard time following.
Is there a distinguishable good guy, good family?
Yes, but there's everybody does bad stuff. It's a lot of anti-heroes.
Everybody does bad stuff. Everybody does bad stuff.
I like to do bad things.
Everybody.
Like my man Cillian Murphy in Peaky Blinders.
Oh yeah, we love Cillian Murphy.
Very principled.
He's a good guy.
Very principled.
Kind of.
I was cheering for him.
If you're on the right side of the ledger, he's a good guy.
Yeah, 100%.
That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla. We'll be back. More Hurrdat Sports Live coming up next.
For Hurrdat Sports and for Borsheims, it is our big game chain player of the game. It's Jace Ziola. First and foremost, Jace, I mean, the Ziolas have had a pretty good month the past couple of weeks here, you know. What's it mean to now get this award? I'm not sure that, I guess Cade did get it at state wrestling, but the rest of the Ziolas probably have some catching up to do now.
Mm-hmm. No, it's pretty cool. I mean, it's exciting to be out here, and just it's awesome.
You had a good start today, got 12 strikeouts and a 4-2 win over Elkhorn. Big matchup, top-rated matchup. Walk me through how you knew you were going to have a big day early.
I mean, right from when I was in the bullpen, like the command of everything felt good, and just had a lot of energy. So it was a great team win.
Had 2 hits in there as well, so you swung the bat a little bit, and your teammates really got going there as well. Is this a good offensive pace you like so far early in the season?
Yeah, I mean, we obviously had a lot of hits that game, just didn't really string them together, but we've been swinging it pretty well, and I'm excited to see when our whole lineup gets going.
Just keep running. Stay there. Now drive. Now just drive.
Welcome to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Oh, he's it's like second nature. I don't even think about it. I just know what's happening. You know, he knows what I want, and so he just gets it done. You know, that receiver room looks different. It looks different. You know, but I'm pleased with every one of the ones that we brought in, and I don't want to talk about them. You know, but you know, Jacory's Jacory. Jacory's got the experience. You know, he's confident. You know, him and Dylan know exactly what's going on. The other guys, it's a work in progress when it comes to, you know, getting the timing down. But they all look good. They look explosive. They got ball skills. There's going to be some competition battles, and that's going to be fun to watch.
We're back here on Hurrdat Sports Live. That's DB. I'm Ravi, Lulla. You know what else is fun to watch? The road while you're driving. Don't get distracted. Keep those eyes peeled and straight forward. Your job is to drive. This message from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. DB, I like how he was talking about the receivers there, where he goes, yeah, they're all really good. I'm not going to say anything more about them. We're not going to say anything else.
This old nipped it in the bud. What old Tequila.
You know who else could have done that?
Who's that?
Rick Pitino, but that's okay.
You do not want to revisit that, do you?
No, I really don't.
Do you think Jacob thinks I was mad at
him? Maybe. I don't know that he cares.
Yeah, he doesn't. But I just – that's just kind of how you have to have those conversations, though.
Sure. I get where he was coming from. I do. But that was a really good example of your vantage point and his vantage point leading to two very different conclusions.
Yeah.
Because I don't know that either of you are wrong, but neither of you are also going to see each other's point of view, because you're never going to shift into reporter mode when you're consuming that information, and he's never going to shift into coach mode.
Yeah. I thought well, I'm not going to get into it, but I think there's a huge distinction to be made between wanting an answer and wanting a quote.
Sure.
Everybody knew the answer. He wanted the quote.
See, and again, we fundamentally disagree on everybody knowing the answer.
That's not true.
Well, I mean, you can't tell me that we don't disagree, because we do disagree.
No, I can tell you that you just don't want to see it. Everybody knew the answer to why he wasn't playing.
I believe that the reporter knew the answer. I don't believe everybody knew the answer, and I think that's why the reporter was asking.
That's even worse. So he was just taking one for the team to inform the public on something.
Well, that's where we started earlier in the week, was that I believe it's part of his responsibility to try and ask questions he believes the public wants to know the answer to, even if he thinks he already does.
Hey, can you say SMH and I roll my eyes and it's the same as if I gave you the emoji, because that's what I feel like.
Yeah, go for it.
SMH.
Roll the eyes, too. Give me the Zoe. Give me the roll the eyes.
That's Stevie Wonder. Like, what is all that?
Royal we.
Just out of control.
Well, you don't think that was a good Stevie? I thought it was a pretty good Stevie Wonder.
I mean, couple lines, too many milligrams. Like what? Like what are we doing?
What? What?
Heron, PCP, Angel Dust,
Aaron?
Like what's wrong with you?
Angel Baroa?
Good pull.
Nice little infielder.
I would have thought Cabrera, except he can't stay out of trouble.
Nah, pass.
Yeah, wow.
Pass.
I didn't realize he did time.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, yeah.
Ugh.
I think was it the players? He came back last month, and it was his first time playing.
Who was the guy? Was it Uget Urbina who like is in prison for murder?
Yeah,
like Uruguay.
Yes, Uget Urbina.
Yeah,
who was really good at one point.
He was the guy with 6 fingers, wasn't he? I think he had a 6th finger. Google how many fingers does Uget Urbina have?
How about Franco just disappearing?
Yeah,
that's getting help. And speaking of disappearing.
Fingers.
Literally. How about Mel Tucker?
Yeah.
They can't find him.
Really?
Yeah, like they tried to serve him with the lawsuit.
Yeah.
And they've been to all 9 of his previous addresses. No, I'm dead. You have to Google that story. They cannot find Mel Tucker.
That's wild.
And it's a civil case. So, like, if he's pretending to be Bahamian or something and he's on the islands, like they can't bring him back.
Like the Rhapsody?
Sure.
Oh, it's Bohemian.
Or Jim.
Boheim?
Idiot. Yeah, like he's just in the wind. I mean, and they're not extraditing you for any civil cases.
No, for civil. I don't even know if you can.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, that's cool.
Deuces.
Yeah, I have my 40 mil.
I'm going to go live in Italy or something.
I mean, Pac moved. He's in the Auckland. He's closer.
Oh, he's New Zealand now?
Yes.
Are they also not extraditing?
No.
Because that's why everybody likes Italy, because they don't extradite.
Well, I think Pac is doing what he's doing because he would be charged with a crime.
Well, yeah.
And
that's what extradition means, DB, is like you don't want to come back.
But his would just be faking his death. It's not that he...
Oh, the crime of faking his death.
Yes.
Gotcha. Okay.
Special.
Well,
I'm just going to say church chat for sure, so that way I won't feel like I'm offending you. Isn't he special?
I mean, I know what you mean, regardless. Like,
it's not like if I use code, it's any different.
It's not like we're in wind talkers over here or anything. Like, that's the other kind of Indians.
Yes, he is.
Also a different kind of code that we're experts in. Oh, computer versus like secret. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get it.
A lot of programmers in my community.
I get it. With the sorting, the sorting out of the wide receiver.
Clear the mechanism.
You are wild.
Clear it. Clear the mechanism.
I don't even think you can say that.
What?
Anywho.
Sorry, Native Americans.
If you, on a 105,
yeah,
right? Like, I'm just shook. It's just so casual. Good, need you to dial in here for a second.
I'm locked in. I'm waiting on you, man.
I totally lost my train of thought
on the 105.
Holgerson said with the wide receivers. Yeah, there's going to be some good players.
Yeah,
that it's like, man, can you hang in there? Because it may not be your time yet. And part of what they have to do, I think, as part of not the separator, but if you want to be a part of the movement, some of these guys are going to have to be good teammates. Just be good teammates.
Well, that's kind of what Rule talked about the other day with like Grant Bricks and Riley Van Poppel, right? Of guys that, hey, they waited their turn. I think he literally said waited their turn. And it with Riley, and that it kind of popped up now because I also think that's where the trust comes in, right? Because if you're Riley Van Poppel and you're sitting behind Ty and Nash, you're probably not playing that much last year.
Yeah.
Even though you're good enough to play, right? Good enough to play and good enough to beat out the guy in front of you aren't the same thing, right? Nebraska could have put Riley Van Poppel in the game and probably would have been fine, right? We saw him play in a few games and they were good with him in there, right? He looked good. But that doesn't mean you pass the guy in front of you. That's different, right? There's going to be defensive backs that are good enough to play that haven't passed the guy in front of them yet.
Yeah. Oh.
You know what I mean?
No, that's a good one.
There's going to be wide receivers that are good enough to play that haven't passed the guy in front of them yet. So that's where the patience and the trust comes in, right? Because you can say, oh, hey, I'm not going to redshirt you because I think it's death. I think it's just like writing my own death certificate in today's transfer portal market where if I redshirt you, you're gone. But what's worse, taking the kid's best interest at heart and saving him a year of eligibility versus being like, oh, I can't redshirt anybody. I'm going to play you 5 games for a total of 20 snaps.
I think in managing those emotions, though, I mean, I loved how you put it because it's The difference between simple and easy.
Mm-hmm.
What you're saying sounds super simple.
Incredibly simple. Really hard to pull off.
Not easy to do.
Because everybody's it's the trust part that's hard to get people to believe, right?
And the other part is the self-awareness.
Yeah.
Right? Like you have to be cognizant of
like, hey, Ty and Nash are better than me right now.
Yep, you have to be able to say that out loud.
And that doesn't mean they're always going to be better than you.
It doesn't mean you're not competitive either.
Right.
But that is part of it.
Self-awareness is important.
Yeah.
Right? You have to be able to sit there and say, oh, like I've tried for jobs before that I thought I was the best candidate and they hire somebody else and I'm like, that's a bad move.
Yeah.
I've also tried for jobs before where they hired somebody else. I was like, yeah, that guy's pretty good. I get it. Like that's the difference. That didn't mean I didn't want the job any less, didn't think I deserved the job any less, but I understood that, that guy's good too.
Yeah. I wasn't cheering for LP because I'm not competitive.
Yeah.
I was cheering for LP because
he's your teammate and you like him and he's good.
Yeah, I love him and he's really good.
Yeah, like it's a lot harder to cheer for somebody that you don't think is as good as you.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's where some animosity starts to build up. That's why it's important if you're Coach Rule or Coach Holgerson or Coach Butler or whoever else to kill shorts with I think could be a sneaky deep wide receiver room, to have it really be about, hey, the guys that play are the ones that do the things that we tell them they need to do.
You know who's going to have to really embody that too?
Who's that?
The running backs room.
Yeah.
The running backs room. Because the talent discrepancy
isn't as big.
Nope. But the production is so far.
Well, and we've talked about this.
So which would you rather have? Would you rather be a guy he's just played more, or in our case, he just has more live reps? He just has more behind the mic reps versus
that bothers me.
Yeah, it's hard.
That bothers me because it's like, okay, how am I supposed to get those reps if I don't get those reps?
So that's what you have to negotiate.
Right? That's the hard part. Because when it's a talent thing where you go, or an effort thing, if a guy comes to me, like, so let's keep using the show as an example, right? If somebody comes to me and you go, hey, you go, Ravi, hey, you're really good at this, but you're not prepared enough all the time.
Mm-hmm.
That's something I can control and fix, right? If you say, hey, I think you could be good at this, but I'm going to go with the guy that has more reps. It's like, well, how am I ever going to get better, right, if I don't get the reps? Those are different things because you took it out of my control. Whereas if you're like, hey, Ravi.
Those are always the hard ones to deal with too, right?
Yeah.
When you feel like you're at the mercy of
somebody else's decision-making, especially when the decision-making doesn't always make sense to you, right? That's where that trust factor comes in, where it's like, hey, you may not understand this decision, but you need to trust overall. I promise I have your best interest at heart. That's the thing that makes the difference, right? If they believe that Holgerson or Short or Rule or Snow or Butler or whoever has their best interest at heart, you can overcome decisions you don't understand.
Or, one of the things that I think is kind of understated in situations like this is how good the environment or the culture is that will allow you to buy time.
Mm-hmm.
Right? How much do I like where I am?
Yeah.
Because I think that's critical.
It's easier to endure when your situation is good.
Yeah. It's people ask me, what would you have done with the portal so readily available? And my first answer is always the same. How much were we winning?
Yeah. And you guys were winning a lot.
So it makes it, and I mean, life was pretty good.
Yeah.
And
it's better now.
Yeah.
In terms of the fringe things.
Yeah. Although I'm not good enough I'm not disciplined enough to separate the luxuries from necessities in terms of using the term better. Mm-hmm. Sure, there's more things readily available to them.
That's all I mean.
I don't know if it would be good for me.
Sure. I mean, overall, in a vacuum, the situation is
right. Like would I be a guy that would take advantage of like rest and recovery?
Yeah.
Then
probably not.
Probably not.
Now, absolutely.
Now I would.
Yeah. Would you have been a guy that got your meals in the way you were supposed to when they were regimented out? Would you have been a guy
100% no.
Would you have been a guy and even as simple as like, were you a guy at 19 years old that could have handled making more money than your parents, right? Like that's a weird situation to be in, right?
So I want to be, those are all good examples. So I want to be very careful.
Sure.
Of just making the linear comparison.
Sure.
Because I'm honest enough with myself to know like where I'm good and where I'm not good.
Better doesn't mean easier, though.
Yeah.
Better just, I mean, there's more.
Especially when you're kind of defiant by nature.
Yeah.
You know,
Like
and
that.
I need to see the immediate dividends too. Sometimes I'm not willing.
Like the delayed gratification is hard for you?
Yeah, that's a learning process.
Tim Verghese coming up next.
For Hurrdat Sports and for Borsheims, it is our big game chain player of the game. It's Jace Ola. First and foremost, Jace. I mean, the Xylos have had a pretty good month the past couple of weeks here, you know. What's it mean to now get this award? I'm not sure that, I guess Cade did get it at state wrestling, but the rest of the Xylos probably have some catching up to do now.
No, it's pretty cool. I mean, it's exciting to be out here, and just, it's awesome.
You had a good start today, got 12 strikeouts in a 4-2 win over Elkhorn. Big matchup, top-rated matchup. Walk me through how you knew you were going to have a big day early.
I mean, right from when I was in the bullpen, like the command of everything felt good, and just had a lot of energy. So it was a great team win.
Had 2 hits in there as well, so you swung the bat a little bit, and your teammates really got going there as well. Is this a good offensive pace you like so far early in the season?
Yeah, I mean, we obviously had a lot of hits that game, just didn't really string them together, but we've been swinging it pretty well, and I'm excited to see when our whole lineup gets going.
Welcome to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Just a veteran presence. I mean, we got a lot of young guys in that room. We got some older guys, but you know, a lot of those older guys are hurt for spring and not going to be able to participate. So we're, you know, adding those guys and putting them with the first group. It's refreshing, you know. And so, you know, Rocco's outgoing, vocal. You know, we'll talk. We'll you know, we'll coach the other guys, even though he's kind of just learning, but he understands football fronts, run game, protections. You know, Elijah doesn't talk. They're 2 different kids, you know, but you're you're bringing big bodies with experience and presence that we desperately needed up front.
Kicking off hour number 2 here on Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Centris Federal Credit Union. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla. We are joined now by Tim Verghese from inside Nebraska. Tim, how are you this morning?
Hey, not too bad. How about y'all?
Good. How a little drinking through a fire hose yesterday, or were you particular about what you wanted to do with your time?
Something of drinking with out of a fire hose, but I thought the way they structured it of just having the defense out there first and the offense out there after with some special teams worked in, kind of helped make it easy. There was it kind of was a thing where you ended it and I was like, oh, wait, I didn't get eyes on this guy or this guy. Like Isaiah Hunter was someone I was looking forward to getting eyes on, and then I just didn't really see him. But in retrospect, going back and looking through clips, I was like, oh, that was an Isaiah, that was an Isaiah. So just pointing out and finding him. But it's like little things like that. Like again, I'm excited to get back out there now that we've seen gotten our first look.
Tim, I wonder, when you've got such a limited time like that, how much do you feel like you're actually able to take away, or is it mostly this guy looks like he's in good shape, or looks like this guy put some weight on? Like, what are you looking for when your time is that abbreviated?
Yeah, I mean, you really just like the first thing is just off the hoof evaluations. I mean, it's the same thing I do at camps. It's the camps start with drills, typically warm up drills. You're walking guy, pregame. That it's the same thing I do in pregame before games. Is you see guys going through drills. You want to see how all of them look going through those drills. You see which ones look smooth, which ones don't, which ones are moving. Like game speed, which ones are not. Things like that. So for me, watching the D line, just again off the hoof, how much bigger does Keona Davis look? How does Riley Van Proppel look? How are these guys look? Williams and Renari, these guys looking at the O line, just trying to see how they're working through things, who's standing out, and then I mean, wide receiver DB one-on-ones. I mean, that's a sell in itself, just getting to watch those guys compete. And so it was entertaining. It was a good time. Running backs, you kind of just looking for how they're moving size-wise. So yeah, the first thing is the off-the-hoof kind of evaluation. That's the main thing, is I'm looking for physical gains or anyone that's, kind of, oh, that's different. That's kind of, you're just looking for differences essentially first and foremost.
Easy to start with O-line and D-line, isn't it? And I always couch that by saying, I understand people sometimes when they talk about how people look, you get the side eye or the eye roll, and it's like, oh, But I've told myself over the years, like, I got to stop talking to those people, right? Because if they were out of shape, that would be as telling as well. So
it has to matter both ways.
But I do think offensive and defensive lines, they've made a tremendous amount of strides with what they've done with people's bodies, especially on the O-line.
Oh yeah, like I mean that line looks like the best compliment I can give the offensive line is we've all seen the measurables for Elijah Pritchett. Elijah Pritchett is a massive human being, and it's not like he's like towering over anybody in that room or completely just like it's not like whoa, there's Elijah Pritchett and then the rest of the room. It's oh that's the line, and then oh look, there's Elijah Pritchett. Like for sure has a couple inches on a couple other guys. Definitely looks a little bigger than those guys, but it's not like whoa, like sometimes Caden Proctor at times looks completely bigger than guys, elsewhere. Like it's not like that. It's they all kind of look big right now, and especially when you put those two next to each other, him and Rocco, and those guys are walking around. Yeah, it's a lot of mass in that room right now.
Tim, one of the guys you mentioned earlier that I saw a lot of people talk about over on Twitter over the course of the day yesterday was Keona Davis. Obviously, that's a particular, pet project, I guess, of mine that I'm very interested in. How did you think he looked compared to where we saw him last?
He's definitely bulked up. I think upper body, lower body looked like he's added some mass. I mean, you saw it last year, specifically his upper body, in his arms. He looked a little like, like on the slimmer side. There was definitely some room to fill into. He's filled into that frame, and I think there's still some room to continue growing. Yeah, him and Williams and Renari kind of look like not clones. I don't think that's the best way to put it, but like just two like 6'6" plus defensive ends, both standing right around I think 270 right now. Yeah, they're physically impressive.
When you're kind of watching just the format, the tempo, the pace, getting in and out of stations or transitions or teachings, I get it. It's a short amount of time Is it about what you expected with new staff, different than what you expected, or just kind of still couldn't really tell enough?
To an extent, couldn't really tell enough. I mean, like the guys the new coaches that caught my attention. I mean, it was hard to miss Coach Braden. Like his voice. I mean, you can hear it across all the video. You can just hear him in the background yelling. Like he's going to get on these guys, you know. And it was entertaining to kind of watch him coach up the guys. I thought Eckler, again, there was like one special teams group kind of working in, or one special team station kind of working in, and you could still hear Eckler over like most anybody out there too. So he's bringing the energy. And then something that caught my attention, they had the DBs and wide receivers working one-on-ones. They had a bunch of the young DBs like Tanner Turch, Caden Vermas, Bryson Weber, DeAndre Barnes, a bunch of those young guys working kind of on their own. And Phil Snow's like right there, like drilling into those guys. Like every single rep, he's watching closely, then pulling the guy to the side, talking to him. Phil Snow's taking a very hands-on approach to the young DBs right now.
Yeah, you know what's interesting about that? That's a heck of a point. Because of what I think, I think Coach Rule has this obviously a huge affinity for Coach Snow. I think he feels like he's the best, or if not one of the best, defensive back coaches in the country. What a luxury it would be to have him working with kind of your developmental guys. Because, I mean, you could get up one morning and blink, and they could run those guys down just because he's so good at what he does from a technical standpoint.
Yeah, and those guys are physically talented. I mean, the Tanner Church, Caden Vermont, Weber specifically, those three I think are going to play at some point in their careers. Like I'm pretty bullish on Caden Vermont. We've talked about that plenty. But even like Bryson Weber, getting to see him out there, like he's one of the bigger corners in the room, a true corner. You know, can turn and run, like has some track times to verify the athleticism. Yeah, I think those two guys in particular. And Church is still figuring it out. He's kind of converted to DB as a senior and still figuring out that position. But again, no better person to learn from than Phil Snow.
Tim, you mentioned the DB wide receiver one-on-ones, and we got some defensive back talk in there. Anything catch your eye with the receivers, whether body-wise, who was working in that group? Like, what did you notice there?
Yeah, I mean, it was a talk yesterday. Me and Steve, I think, mentioned him a punch, but Isaiah Mosey kept just grabbing our attention. Like he winning off the line of scrimmage, pretty sharp routes, pretty consistent hands. There were some drops yesterday, and he was one of those that wasn't really dropping it. And yeah, I mean, really like Mosey. I think he's further along than even I expected, and I've been pretty high on him. Just came in and works. I mean, he's a coach's son. Like he knows what he's doing out there. Like, you know, he knows what's expected of him. He just works. Cortez Mills, I thought he had a good battle with Andrew Marshall. I think the DB room, I'll say this, the new additions to the DB room and just the experience the rest of that room has gotten over the last year, I think it's going to like ultimately be best for both sides that they're getting to compete against each other. Like Cortez is getting to go up against like a guy like Andrew Marshall, and he brought the ball in like through, and Marshall just pokes it out at the end. That's something you don't deal with at the high school level. You don't really see high school DBs do that. So that's something that, you know, he's going to have to learn and adjust to. I thought you could see some flashes from Hartley Gilmore, just the athleticism. I didn't think it was his best day, but again, limited reps, limited, you know, kind of viewing of him. Quinn Clark just continues to like look the part, and so I'm excited to see kind of what he continues to develop into.
He's bigger than he was a year ago, and he still looks pretty slight, but it's
yeah, he's fascinating. I'm really interested to see kind of what that looks like down the line, because I think that's another one of just like, I think the coaching staff is just kind of like, bide your time. Like there'll be an opportunity at some point, but we're just going to keep developing you. But yeah, I mean, that's the room right now. Again, Dane Key, you know, is Dane Key. And Isaiah, like I said, kind of missed Isaiah Hunter yesterday, but it was good to just get a look at that room. And then, like, I don't know. I mean, I've seen some talk about Ja'Cory Barney being like, hey, you know, Ja'Cory Barney might have slipped compared to some of the new additions or whatever. Like, he's the guy. Like, he is acting like the guy and playing like the guy and carrying himself like the guy.
Well, you know what I hope is it was because it's just eye opening, right? To all of a sudden see Caleb and, you know, Harburg in one-on-ones, right? It's like 4 years difference between the two. I think, you know what's, listening to you say that, I think the next level for whether it's the DBs or the wide receivers, it's got to be, in your Barney comments got me thinking along these lines, is to flush last year. where last year was last year, regardless of, and I said this from the jump, right? With the new staff, I'm like, hey, you get a new set of eyes. Don't rest on your laurels, whether it was to the good or to the bad. This is a new deal. I think how quickly they can do that will dictate a lot of what's going to happen from a success standpoint, is to flush last year, regardless.
Yeah, I feel like that's kind of the talk too. You listen to them talk about you listen to Buford talk about, hey, what's different with the defense? It's like, oh, the old stuff's out the window. Like, yeah, there's no like resting on what happened last year. There's also no like, yeah, it's a new staff, it's a new defense, it's a new offense. They'll talk about the continuity and keeping some of the language and certain concepts in, but it's going to be a lot of change, I think, on both sides of the ball as both coordinators kind of get settled in and shape this thing into what they want it to look like. Yeah, I also kind of wonder with the DBs specifically, you know, what is going to be different when you've got, this is a DB focused defense now. You've got three, like you mentioned, Phil Snow, DB guy. You've got John Butler, DB guy. And then you've got Addison Williams all working on that room. Like, I think from a technique and what they're working through standpoint, I think you're going to see that room just completely change because last year at times was unacceptable. And so I think there's going to be a lot of work to be done in that room.
Tim, did you have enough time or see enough to get a sense for the kind of overall level of, I guess, competitiveness over the different groups?
A little bit. Like, I mean, again, wide receivers, DBs right now, it's just ultra competitive. Those guys are like, it's pretty feisty. Like that's what we got to see. Outside of that, not really. I think it's all still coming together. And part of yesterday, I saw some YouTube comments and Twitter comments about it too. Part of yesterday, I think that I couldn't get a full grasp on is compared to last year, there was a lot more standing around, and people noticed that. Like, hey, there's guys standing behind in drills. I mean, they're not doing what they did last year, where you've got three separate teams on three different fields, all rotating through different things. It's okay. The DBs are here, the wide receivers are here, the linebackers here. It's teaching, and so like I understand some of the they're standing around. Like it's week one of spring ball. Like they're learning. It's still like teaching moments and all of that. So, but at the same time, it's hard to get a read on really a whole lot because it is that first week of spring ball, and some of these rooms are going to look completely different 3 weeks from now.
I think for me, the most exciting part is the whole teaching aspect of it. And it's not just coach to player. I think it's coach to coach too. Like Coach Rule seems to kind of be in his wheelhouse, teaching and instructing and implementing with other adults. Like how to it's not necessarily how to be a pro, but hey, this is our culture. This is how, when we teach in the words we use, this is why it matters. Let's do this more as a staff. Because if you look at the teams and like they're competitive, that's a pretty, I was impressed with their chemistry and their camaraderie, right? They cheered for one another. It was highly competitive, even guys at the same position. And I'm always looking for that. Because when you can cheer for other guys at your position, you can't do anything without being able to do that. But then the other thing is Coach Rule said it. He told us that in the presser. He said, kind of, I need a little bit more. The kids get it. They kind of know. The older guys have taken the lead. He goes, the coaching staff is kind of where we're at. Like, we need to get more familiar as well. So I think as they practice, that will work itself out based on what you just said.
Yeah, and we're talking about Phil Snow, like that's a guy that I think he's still figuring it out too. But I mean, it was good to see him bouncing around. Like I said, I saw him working with the DBs individually for a while, and then there was a point where he's just like right on, and I've got a picture of it. He's just like right on Rob Dvorak's shoulder, like Dvorak's like barking through drills, and Phil Snow is right there, like just like right behind him, watching the drills, passing along comments, like. I think, yeah, that staff is kind of figuring itself out. We've talked about this earlier when these hires were made, but it is really starting to feel like Dana Holgerson's the head coach of the offense and Phil Snow's essentially the head coach of the defense, with John Butler being the true defensive coordinator. And those guys just kind of oversee everything while they trust their, assistant coaches to kind of work through the individual drills and work through kind of the minute details while they oversee the bigger picture stuff.
Tim, is that a model you've seen kind of work before? It seems like sort of a little bit of a departure from even I know we use the term CEO head coach a lot. It seems like even a little bit more of a departure from that into having almost like you said, head coach of one side of the ball, head coach of another side of the ball, and then sort of lieutenants below that. Is that a trend you've seen, or is that just new here?
Nebraska kind of feels like not necessarily on the forefront of it, but they're among the programs at the front of this. I mean, Ohio State got the ball rolling, hiring Chip Kelly to be offensive coordinator. UCF this offseason with Gus Malzahn, but that's not like those are like experienced head coaches taking a step down to do it, and that's one example of it. But you look at Oregon. You know, Dan Lanning is the CEO of Oregon. And then Will Stein is his entrusted head coach of the offense. And on the flip side, Tosh Lupoi is the head coach of the defense. Penn State, similar thing. Andy Kotelnicki, he's the guy on offense. James Franklin is the CEO now. He's taken that step up. I think this is just how you program build in this day and age. And with these unlimited coaching staffs, with everything that's on the plate of the head coach and what's growing on the plate of all these assistant coaches as well, the duties have to be shared, and I think the I guess the hierarchy has to change a little bit too. So I think Nebraska's somewhat on the forefront, just in the case that they're one of the few programs that has like a true veteran or experienced head coach leading the offense now. And on the flip side, on the defense, you've got a long tenured defensive backs coach and a long tenured former NFL coach essentially leading your defense, to pair with a guy like Phil Snow that's been doing this defensive coordinator stuff for a long time, but is no longer defensive coordinator by title.
How about the recruits they have on campus, you know, just making sure that those guys are getting a touch. It's not often, I mean, midweek, right? You get a top flight quarterback. You got some fellas on campus. I know Rankin was in town where they're still trying to maximize those spring practices for a recruiting standpoint as well.
Yeah, and with we thought Trey Taylor out there, 2027 quarterback, number 4 quarterback in the country per Rivals. He was out there just watching, just right behind the quarterbacks, keeping on close eye. We saw a couple coaches walk up to him, make some comments, just trade some things, and for these guys, it's an important evaluation period. For Nasir Rankin, Trey Taylor, Ryan Murray, the 3-star center out of Miami South Ridge, was also in town yesterday. Torrey Pittman, elite safety out of Omaha Central, was also in town. For those guys, I mean, getting to see these coaches in action, it's not necessarily about the conversations they have. They're coming to practice knowing they're going to see these coaches in action, what it looks like to be coached by them, what training at Nebraska looks like, what developing at Nebraska looks like. And this is what Nebraska wants to sell. They want to sell, hey, this is what it's going to look like for you. We develop here. Here's what it's going to look like. You're going to get your reps. You're going to get your opportunities to work. You're going to get your opportunity to shine and compete. And that's resonating with guys. And so, with Murray, like getting to see, hey, look, there's some injuries on the O-line. So look at those young guys working in at center, working in a guard, working in a tackle. For a guy like Nasir Rankin, it's, look at Isaiah Mosey winning, off the line of scrimmage and getting these type of reps and celebrating with Dylan Raiola as a true freshman. That's an opportunity he could get. Rankin's going to be an interesting one, just because I don't know if y'all saw, but he got an Illinois basketball offer in addition to an Illinois football offer this week. He's a true two-sport star, but he's 6'1". I don't know how many schools are actually going to offer him the opportunity to play in both sports, but the fact that Illinois did it definitely makes you turn and look. And also, for me, it's like, oh man, what type of power does Brett Bielema have? Because as you all know, with the two-sport stuff, it's usually one coach calling another coach and being like, hey man, as a favor, this kid wants to play basketball, this kid wants to run track. Can we just give him an opportunity to do that? For Bielema to go to Brad Underwood and say, like, hey, this kid wants to play basketball, Underwood to give him the green light. I mean, that says a lot about kind of Bielema's power on that Illinois campus right now.
Tim, as we kind of go throughout the spring, I know in years past that spring game has sort of been the culmination of the recruiting part of this cycle. How do you expect that to play out a little bit differently, or do you expect it to play out differently with the kind of change in the process?
Yeah, I mean, like we're talking about spring game and talking to guys about when they plan to visit. Nebraska's going to have some visitors in town, but it's not going to be like a massive visit weekend like spring games in the past have been. I think they're staggering them and kind of layering them out throughout spring. This weekend's a pretty big weekend. They've got Titan Davis on campus, top defensive end target. Valdon Sone, top defensive tackle target on campus. A couple of top 2027 targets in town as well. Next weekend's another big weekend for the staff. And so they're kind of layering it and staggering it through April, which we'll have to see if it benefits Nebraska, because, if you zoom out and think about it, it gives the staff more one-on-one time with each of these guys and allows them to kind of personalize each of these visits. But at the same time, you do lose that spring game atmosphere. You do lose the opportunity to showcase the fan base a little bit, and you lose just like spring game used to be like hey, you spend the whole weekend in Lincoln, you get to see what a game day is like, and it led to a bunch of commitments. And so I'm curious to see what it looks like this year, because it's going to be a lot more practice focused. It's going to be a lot more development and X's and O's focused than the like vibes, I guess, of recruiting.
So it's interesting because they have to be so calculated, because we heard Coach Rule talk, and I thought it was low-key funny. You know, he said, unless you're a guy that doesn't care what you tell guys, we're kind of in this wait-and-see mode because we don't know what's going to happen on April 7th, if that, and how the landscape is pretty fluid. Can you see how it's kind of tightened up in terms of what their particular wants versus needs are as you're watching this offseason unfold from a recruiting standpoint?
Oh yeah, like I mean, I can look right now. Like we're going through this big board series right now, and like there's a bunch of names to like keep an eye on, and like I feel like I keep repeating myself of, hey, if something happens, look for this guy to rise up the board. But like really, when you're thinking about it at this point, there's like 10 to 15 true targets they're on. Which how many times can we say that in April? You know, typically that list is at least two to three times that, just in terms of you cast a wide net and you figure out the hierarchy, and then you start to whittle down through official visit season. I mean, there's like the guys that are officially visiting and scheduled to official visit this summer, those are essentially the guys for Nebraska. Plus, you add in like a Titan Davis, Valdon Sone, who I do expect to OV this summer. Add in a couple of receivers I think will end up OVing this summer as well. But overall, it's like, yeah, there's like a it's a smaller group of high school recruits they're focused on, just because from their standpoint, they don't know how many numbers they're going to have, and they don't know how much NIL and how much they're going to be able to just divest and invest in these guys. Because you got, like, for example, a recruitment like Ryan Mosley. Nebraska just made that top 5. They're battling top SEC programs like Georgia, Texas A&M, South Carolina, so on and so forth. You need to have your NIL ducks in a row to win that recruitment. And right now, I just don't know if Nebraska is like ready and willing to spend that type of money, because they don't know how they're going to be able to allocate it for the summer. That's just something that's going to have to get figured out here in the next few weeks and months. And hopefully April 7th gives a little more clarity and allows, I think after April 7th, if there's some clarity, I think you're going to see Nebraska like start to focus in more on who they want. And I think you're going to start to see guys come off the board too. Like we're here in the end of March and they've got 3 commits. And I'd say honestly 2, just because Devion is a situation right now. That's something to monitor, but it's just kind of it's weird right now. They've only got 3 commits. One's a legacy. One's CJ Bronaugh, who's still evaluating other things. The class is off to a pretty slow start right now, and it's you look around college football. There's a reason for that.
I thought it was interesting with the taking visits and this, that, and the other with Coach Rule's comments about recruiting, and then to see that Brumbaugh has multiple visits set up. I was like, I wonder if that's coincidence or no.
Yeah, and that's just a tough one because Nebraska did all the right things, evaluated him early, offered him early, got him to commit before he was really ranked. And then once tape got out, once film got out, once he ran those track times and then won Under Armour MVP or won MVP at Under Armour Orlando, that it just started kind of blow up for him. And so now he's got the who's who of college football in that mix, and Nebraska's got to battle, Tony White and those guys to keep him committed.
That's our guy, Tim Verghese, inside Nebraska. Tim, great stuff as always. We look forward to talking to you next week.
Thanks, TV.
Yes, sir. Talk soon. Appreciate y'all.
Yeah, that timing of the commitments in the class is going to be really interesting.
It is.
Because I do think we may see kind of a, not like a dam break, but I do think we're going to see a shift after April 7th if we get some clarity on the settlement.
If that's, we keep using that date, I don't even know. Right?
Big if. Big IF. Different than OF. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla. We'll be back. More at Sports
Only
Live.
fathers?
Only friends.
Oh, got you.
Coming up here on Hurrdat Sports Live.
For Hurrdat Sports and for Borsheims, it is our big game chain player of the game. It's Jace Ola. First and foremost, Jace. I mean, the Xylos have had a pretty good month the past couple of weeks here, you know. What's it mean to now get this award? I'm not sure that, well, I guess Cade did get it at state wrestling, but the rest of the Xylos probably have some catching up to do now.
No, it's pretty cool. I mean, it's exciting to be out here, and just it's awesome.
You had a good start today, got 12 strikeouts in a 4-2 win over Elkhorn. Big matchup, top-rated matchup. Walk me through how you knew you were going to have a big day early.
I mean, right from when I was in the bullpen, like the command of everything felt good, and just had a lot of energy. So it was a great team win.
Had 2 hits in there as well, so you swung the bat a little bit, and your teammates really got going there as well. Is this a good offensive pace you like so far early in the season?
Yeah, I mean, we obviously had a lot of hits that game, just didn't really string them together, but we've been swinging it pretty well, and I'm excited to see when our whole lineup gets going.
Give me that cheddar, we getting Rico. Big money rolls like burritos. Give me that hot sauce, no pico. Give me that.
Just keep running. Stay there. Now drive. Now just drive.
Welcome to Hurrdat Sports Live.
We know what Emmett can do. I mean, he showed it when I got here real quick, you know, and so, you know, he to me looks like a different kid right now based on the fact that he's confident. You know, he's got some good stuff ahead of him. You know, he's like, you know, the 4 games with you here, Coach, it was good, but it's not nearly as good as what it's going to be. I believe that. I mean, he looks really good. He's taking on a leadership role. He's the old guy in the room, and we got a bunch of young guys that don't have reps after that. You know, I don't view that as concerning. I view it as optimistic and challenging, and you know who they are. I mean, it doesn't matter who they are. You know, I mean, you know, Quentin Ives is probably the next guy that has reps. Had a huge December. You know, when the other guy left, he got all those reps. He looks fantastic right now. You know, and then the rest of them are all young, you know, so this is going to be a big spring for them, you know, because they're going to have opportunities to be able to get a lot of reps and make a lot of progress.
We're back here on Hurrdat Sports Live. That's DBM Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill, reminding you, get out to supernovas.com. They've got 2 home matches this weekend, tonight and Sunday, that you can get out to and have a great time with you and the family. It's supernovas.com to get your tickets today. To this day?
Who said that? Today.
Today?
Oh, it's these
Tadashi?
No, this weird couple on
TikTok.
TikTok.
To this day.
That's like Tink and Sela Pie.
Are those
And
real
she-
people's names?
Yeah, I don't know her name. She's annoying, but she's always eating, and she always goes. She says today. You wouldn't like her, trust me. Like a little bit of an identity crisis. And
Okay.
It would make you mad because I know that's not your thing.
Who, me?
That's a panty dropper for sure.
That's why you love him too, by the way.
Yeah, I just really love the
I'm gonna find her.
over the top doing too much.
And
that's my
just how you
favorite thing.
said today is how she says it.
Today?
Let's get into the food today.
Today?
Yes, that.
To
That
this
was
day?
That was that running back room is interesting.
Yeah.
And I want to get to hoops, but Shane brought the cut back, so I feel like I have to.
Cut back, like a cutback lane?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, put one foot in the ground and go.
That's going to be a fascinating room because there will be plenty of reps to go around.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because we
I mean,
talked.
how much of a workload does
Emmett
EJ
get?
need?
Well, so that was the thing we were talking about, right? You said he was guaranteed starter. You talked me into it. I think you're right. But I do think there's a lot of opportunity there for other people. Like, I don't look at
Yes, there is.
I don't look at Emmett and go, hey, that guy's going to carry it 20 times a game.
Right.
Right? Like,
and shoot, they could throw him at the ball too.
right. And so, do you think Emmett Johnson gets 20 touches a game?
Touches?
Mm-hmm.
I think that I'd set it at 19 and a half.
Okay. So that's about right.
Yeah, that's about right.
So that leaves what? Let's say 15 of those are carries?
I would go
16?
I would say yes.
16?
10, 11,
I think
12.
they'll carry. I think you're going to get on about 38 carries a game.
Okay, so let's say he's got 16 of them.
What's 38 and 35? 73?
Yeah.
Yep, I think that's about right.
So that means you got 22 other carries after EJ's gotten his carries, the starter, to go around.
Yeah.
You got more than 50% of the
And you're
carries
saying
left.
touches, not always
Well,
carries.
so you said 19 and a half touches, so I said about 16 carries. Is
Yeah.
that fair to break
Yeah.
it down?
Sure.
In the neighborhood?
Sure.
So
They got some backs that get out in space and catch the ball, I think.
So you're talking 20 plus carries left if you're trying to run the ball 38 times a game.
Yeah. Does that seem right?
I
that
think
seems right.
I mean
38 and 35.
Yeah. I mean, I probably would have just gone 50-50, but whatever. I mean, you're within 2, right? So it
Yeah.
doesn't really matter. But if you're talking about 36 to 38 carries a game, that means you got 20 plus carries that are going to somebody other than EJ. Right? And that means you probably have another 3 to 8 pass attempts that are going to go to somebody other than EJ out of the backfield. Because I think you're right. I think they're gonna use running backs quite a bit in the passing game. So you're talking almost another 30 touches going to somebody other than EJ?
That's too many.
25?
In my head. It's too many.
Okay. 25? 20 to 25 extra touches
Sure.
going to other people?
Sure.
So that's a decent amount of workload to go around.
Yeah, there's going to be some hand sweeps with wide receivers probably.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean, somebody's got 10 other carries a game in them.
Yeah, I mean they're going to have to, right?
So, like that, I feel pretty good about that number.
So who's that going to be, right? You've got Mekhi Nelson, obviously, who we both like. We think Jamarion's probably not ready.
Oh,
maybe he looks a little bigger than we thought.
It's pretty good.
And then Quentin,
Yeah.
are probably your 4 guys, right? So I think Quentin might be more situational at this point.
No.
No?
I think he can run the offense.
Okay.
I
He
think
is the biggest back. That's why I said that.
I think, which is strange to say. If you'd have told me that a year and a half ago, I'd have been like, that guy. But he has changed his body dramatically.
And Rule said he's what, 210, a little over?
And I was glad to see or hear Coach Holgerson talk about his December.
Mhm.
Because I was trying to give it clarity yesterday and what I felt leading up to the bowl game.
Mhm.
And I said it again yesterday about him kind of seeing it. He got specific. He can say some things that I can't say, but I do think there was a stretch during those bowl game practices and late that last couple of weeks in the season where it kind of got different for him.
So
and Coach Holgerson reiterated that yesterday when he talked about his December.
You think Quentin is one of those guys, and the running back room seems like a good place to talk about this. Do you think Quentin was one of those guys that started, like the game started to slow down for him, he started to see it a little bit better, or he was finally able to put in the daily rigor
I think
that you
he
talk
understood
about?
the rigor. I think he understood the rigor and what was being asked of him. Sometimes you just have to learn how to be a professional, right? You got to see it every day. And it's hard for guys, and it's really the key. When you want to build depth, because I'm going to tell you something. People too often put development on coaches. It goes in stages.
Sure.
Right? Development mainly starts with the player. You cannot just lift weights and go to practice and think you're going to get better. It's just not how it works. It's what else are you doing? Then your coach comes in and he levels you up. Okay, you're at a certain spot. He gives you more tools in your tool bag. Then you have to go back on your own and own your skill and go to work on your skills. Then he'll come back and then you do it again. Like the majority of development starts with the player, in my opinion.
I think that's fair.
It's just, I mean, Mitch Ballack wasn't a great shooter because of what he did at practice.
Yeah.
And when people were watching.
That's every great shooter ever.
Mitch Ballack was a guy that was like, hey, I need an open gym during COVID. Can you help? Right? You get the sense that Mitch Ballack is interested in developing.
Yeah.
So that's what I think. So for players, you have to understand that it's not just about practice, weights, eating, recovery. What are you doing with your downtime? How do you utilize it? Is it active? Are you like, there's parts of that, right? I look at some of these guys from a technique standpoint. It's like, ooh, just a few more tweaks. Stay with it. Just level up. Don't just want to come back and do it the next day. Come back and learn from what the previous day was. And when you start to stack days, I said this to Jay yesterday, Foreman, when you start to stack days, you'll get to a point where when you don't, you'll feel a certain way about it. Like, man, that wasn't a good day today.
Yeah.
Like you'll just know it doesn't feel right.
Right.
You just will.
Yeah, I do wonder what the balance is, or what the what the split would be percentage-wise of when we're waiting for guys to figure it out, how much of it is waiting for the game to slow down, and not just football, right? Maybe like Fedor is a good example of this for Creighton too, right? I wonder how much of that was having the game slow down for him a little bit versus having chemistry with his teammates versus earning the trust of the coaches versus doing what he needed to on a daily basis to be a rotation guy instead of a scout team guy.
That's how I feel about Amon.
Right.
What you just described, I think that's why he flourished with the Packers. I've used this example before, and I'm telling you, I watched that guy run the same 3 plays, and I watched them invest in him, give him the freedom to let him know that he's the guy, to see it multiple times, to do it over and over, and to perfect his craft. See, that fits his personality, and he's already gifted. So when you add in that belief factor and the ability to do something over and over again, see, he mastered it.
Yeah.
So he could run the same 3 plays and do it really, really well.
Yeah.
Sometimes that happens, and running backs are different. They're, not everybody's kind of the same. Some guys are a little more situational. Some guys are just kind of ready. Some guys are too creative to be steady eddies because do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They do too much. It's like being a 6 man. Some 6 men just can't be starters.
Yeah.
Right? They like their role. They like their role as a bucket getter off the bench. It's not the same when you start the first floor of the game. So I think finding out how to use those guys from a depth standpoint really matters, because backs are different. But everybody says the same thing, and it's not true. Well, you need to allow them to get into a rhythm. Some guys are like that.
Not everybody does.
Some guys aren't.
Yeah.
It just depends.
Yeah, I mean, like if you're starting Lou Williams or Jamal Crawford, you've got a different situation on your hands.
Yeah.
Right, as a sixth man.
100%.
Right, or like Vinny Johnson, if you want to go old school, your old microwave. Right, that's different than a running back because some running backs do need to get in a rhythm. Right, where you could tell like, hey, takes them a few plays or a few carries or even a few series to sort of start to see it.
Yeah.
And see how defense is reacting versus some guys that go out there and they just go. Right. And so running backs are a unique position there. I do want,
and we'll see what happens. I mean, you're going from 100 and what do you have? 119 carries last year, 117 maybe.
EJ?
Yeah.
I believe 107.
Okay. So like, are you getting as much production at 200 carries?
We talk about this, the point of diminishing returns.
So
right?
you don't and you just don't know.
Yeah. Until you see it.
It's easy, sometimes to say, oh, get the guy the ball more. Some guys are like that. Some guys aren't.
Mm-hmm.
So is there a threshold? Well, I don't know. Who's the guy that got mad about his touch? Oh, super gifted. I loved him. Jahmyr Gibbs.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
He's huge with Ben Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
Well, sure, we could get him the ball more, but we want to play this way because with these amount of touches, our data shows he's uber this.
Mm-hmm.
But then as the season went on and you get Montgomery hurt,
mm-hmm.
it's what's the threshold for Gibbs?
Yeah.
Like that was, you could hear it almost every other Detroit Lions broadcast.
Because everybody has a threshold.
They do. You just don't know when it is.
Some guys it's 30 carries. Some guys it's 13. Yeah. Right. You were right, by the way. It was 117, not 107. My bad.
Let's go
for old EJ there on the carries.
Right.
But yeah, there's
143 for Dowdell.
And it's the same. It's the same thing with basketball, right? Like we kind of made the joke of the, whether the Sam Hoiberg plus minus or the Mason Miller plus minus or whatever. It's like, okay, when you're playing limited sample sizes, yeah, you can be effective. And that was some people's argument with me against Fedor, right? Was, hey, when does it? He looks good in these little spurts that you put him out there for. A lot of people can look good for a couple minutes. And yeah, that's correct. There are signs, I think, and it's harder. I think it's harder in football. I think there's signs in basketball when you can tell a guy like, hey, he's actually going to get better with more reps or more shot attempts or whatever, versus I actually do think it's harder in football to look at a back and say, because a lot of times we'll just do it by body type, and that's pretty error prone. And just say, oh, yeah, that guy's only good for 10 carries a game, or that guy's good for 20 carries a game. And that's not, I don't think you can really find out except through trial and error with a running back.
Were you surprised to hear, or maybe not, like his comments about the tight end room? Like with Harburg and stuff. He talked about the weight and how it's kind of slowed him down a little, which is to be expected, but like getting off of coverage and being complete.
Yeah, and I guess that was.
I just go back to our conversation we had about starters.
So that was my hesitation about it, because it's just a different thing, right? That I don't know.
And actually, when you said that, it got me to say, Lindemeyer.
Yeah, and I like
you processed through it, right? You're like, well, I don't know.
Yeah,
I was like, let me back up for.
And I don't know how he's going to be used, and I don't know how his body's going to react, and I know that Lindemeyer can be good.
He is significantly bigger though.
Heinrich.
Yes.
Yeah. No, and he was big before.
Yeah.
But what they say, he's 240?
Yeah. I don't know if I see that, but
yeah,
they're around him more.
But I think he played quarterback at 210, 215. So you're talking about a significant amount of size on that dude.
Because it was just interesting to hear Dana say that it had slowed him down.
Yeah. Which he had really good speed, so maybe you make that sacrifice there to get him up to the size you want, but
although you see him there, and it's not.
No, it's not. Like, he's carrying it well for sure. And he's tall, so it's not going to.
And I get it. Caleb's bigger, but, there's not a huge discrepancy there.
No, there's not. He's just a big kid, though.
Yes, he is.
Like, Heinrich's a big kid.
I think sometimes we throw elite around a little too much. But he is an elite level shape.
Yeah, like really great fitness.
He can play hard for a long time.
And I don't know that I would go elite on this, but I think he does have very good size measurable combination.
Yeah.
Right?
You're right.
Like probably not elite level, but really good.
I mean, he's a 300. He's a hurdler.
Yeah.
Right. I mean,
which at that size is kind of bonkers.
Well, he wasn't that.
No,
big.
but I mean, even the
Yeah,
height, like
yeah,
that's like
100%.
Yeah,
So,
because he's always been a big framed kid,
I'm
even though
telling
he
you.
wasn't.
And I gave it away the other day when I said the room I may spend time in.
Mm-hmm.
That tight end room is
fascinating.
Yes, and it's pretty good.
Yeah,
it is. It is well coached.
Gonna be competitive.
Yes, it is. It is well coached.
How many guys? Like, if I gave you an over under on how many guys they would play, what's that number on offense? I assume they might get some special teams reps or whatever. But how many different tight ends are going to play?
I mean, I could see 4.
Yeah, I probably was going to say 3.5. Would be my over under number. So you take the over.
Yeah, I could see 4 by the time it's all said and done.
Yeah.
Plus, those guys, they bang.
Yeah.
I mean, they
so you might get some guys.
They use them in split zone. They use them in duo. Like, they have some hammers in there.
How much do you think like different skill sets in that room will play into, like, situationally, versus like overall best guys?
So Carter Nelson was standing because I don't know. I mean, they talked about when he's going to come back. I don't know.
Yeah.
So I'll keep him out for a second.
Yeah.
I think there's really only one guy that has that different of skill sets, and that's probably Harvard.
Okay. So you think Lindemeyer's
more conventional?
Yeah, pretty.
I think Mark Wade's a little more conventional.
Traditional tight ends.
Yeah.
Harburg's more of kind of that versatile type guy.
I mean, because what did they say during the presser yesterday? Just getting off coverage and when people are over him, right? I mean, because if that's a thing, right? Releasing, he just hasn't done it.
Yeah,
a ton. Using your hands first, like those things are new.
I know you said you're leaving Carter out, but he probably would be more out in space.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, because that's the assumption most people make is he would be maybe split out a little bit rather than inline.
I could see it, but I always go into this with when people tell me that, I'll say, okay, maybe to get him on the field at first.
Sure.
But what wide receiver are you taking off
to put him on
to reap those benefits of where you think you can get a matchup advantage?
Sure.
Because that's what you have to think about.
Yeah. You're like, okay, what do I get by putting him in instead of
is he better
Hunter
on this nickel than putting,
let's say Mosey, just because we were talking about him earlier, or Quinn Clark or whoever, right?
So, I don't know. You have to think about that.
What's up, Shane?
You guys want to get to Michael Severe here?
Oh, yeah. Have Severe. Yeah, let's talk to him.
Always.
That's nice. That's pretty cool. Did he tell you he was doing this?
Oh, hey. I didn't realize you guys were coming to me right
doing?
now. How you doing? What's going on? I'm doing tickets for the gala. So sorry, I thought you guys were coming to me to the next segment. Sorry. What's up?
Hi.
Roger Kingdom, Ravi. Roger Kingdom.
I don't know what that means.
Great hurdlers who were built like Heinrich Harburg.
Okay.
Yeah, that dude, man, he ran that 400. He knocked down every single hurdle. He basically just ran through them all because he was so big. And that was the guy.
Exaggerating, but not by much. Not by much. He was a powerful dude.
He was a powerful dude. Man.
He'd rather go through than around.
Yeah,
that's a good pull.
He should have been in the NFL. That's where he should have played. Forget Nehemiah. It should have been Roger Kingdom. Yeah. And I think Edward Moses was tall too, but I'm not sure how tall.
Yeah, but he was thin.
He was thin, but he wasn't as.
Well, I mean, Severe. He actually is in the NFL now. He's a strength and conditioning coach.
Oh, who's he coaching for?
Buccaneers.
You could see. You could
figure that. That makes sense. He was had some big legs on him. Big legs on him, no doubt. And Damon, you said he could play hard for a long time. I'm like, isn't that hard to do? I mean, with a cup on or without a cup on?
Oh, Lord.
See, that was Shano back in the day. He'd have cut that out.
What's happening?
Shano would have cut that out. Yes, he would have. By the way, Shano
that kept knocking the hurdles over. Or
he texted me. That would be painful. He texts me the link. I'm like, what am I gonna do with the text? You DM the link. Is he slipping? Honestly, he's old now.
So he's okay.
He's slipping,
I'm
Be honest.
gonna defend Shane because he gets ping pong. Ravi is the bully of the two.
I know you better than that.
And he gives Shane things typically through DM. But the other day, there was a little miscommunication. So then Ravi had to go back and give Shane the choice of how he wanted to receive what he was getting. So Shane could technically
right.
Still shaken.
Yeah, he could be. I mean, but he texts me, and I'm not. I have to then move it over. It won't allow me to move it over to the email. So,
Michael, do I come off like a bully?
See, I know Damon better than that. And there's what day is it? Honestly, Damon came in. He's doing his iron shots. He's yelling at somebody. Is he mad? I don't know. How did the Lakers do last night? Oh, not well. So, he could be yelling at people too. I don't know.
By the way, I take my iron now by pill.
Orally.
Some people prefer that.
Yes. From what I've heard.
The pills.
Pills, definitely. Yeah.
Because not everybody likes shots,
My wife never understood how you took the shots. She's like, I can't believe he takes the shots every day. I'm like, he does the shot right in his stomach.
Yeah.
Or leg or wherever.
Yeah, wherever.
I wasn't watching it.
By the way, to my defense.
Tim,
like we had Tim on at 8. I always text him the link.
Yeah.
We had Ball on yesterday. I always text him.
They use their phone. I'm 55, being 56 soon. I have a desktop.
I think Tim was on.
You know how I know you're right. And I hate saying that you're right out loud. It's the same thing with Jessica. She's kind of hip and cool. She'll send me the link to my phone, and I always have to share or forward to my email.
Yeah.
And I cut out the middle person. I'm like, can you just email it to me?
Yeah, email DM.
But
is normally how
the young cool people, they do the phone thing.
Yeah. And Shane is neither young, cool, or hip.
I am old.
None of those things. Hey, so Lindenmeyer, my guy, huge fan of his. Thank you for mentioning him as much as possible. Double L I put him on my little thing that I thought, watching him do a good job yesterday, I thought he's going to have a breakout year. I think that kid, he's got all the talent. You can use him in so different ways. I'm big fan, huge fan ever since seeing him at Pillion.
Hey, so talk to me about how you like the development of that that tight end room, because I think people sleep on it. He's done a good job in that room.
Remember, I liked it last year because I thought Lindenmeyer was kind of a sleeper, and then I thought they had a chance to be pretty good if you had a healthy Fedoni. I thought they were pretty good last year. This year, they're not as deep, obviously, because they lost some guys into the portal. Because there were a couple of guys who I thought, who was the Israel kid? Garcia?
What
was his name?
No, it's the tight end.
It was the tight end, not Garcia Castaneda.
Started out as D lineman though. Didn't he?
Well, but when he came in as a tight end, and I thought, ooh, he could be a really good tight end. And then I thought Neil Smith kid could be a good. I thought he could build up to be a tight end too. So I thought that room had a chance last year with the young kids. But no, I think Lindenmeyer. I think he is a guy that can be. And I know Tyler Warren gets all the credit in the world for being whatever, but I think you can use him that way. He could dominate the middle of the field. You saw him yesterday. He got a flag on him for pushing off, but he could do that. They'll give him that all day long.
Ishmael Smith Flores. That's who you were thinking.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I thought that kid had a chance to develop into a good tight end, but obviously,
Kobe.
What did you like yesterday?
I liked a lot. I loved the running backs catching the ball out of the backfield. If you'd have asked me last year when they moved Hogerson in, I thought there were 3 things that were going to get better. I think I did say this to you guys. I thought that whoever the number one wide receiver, the X wide receiver, is going to get a lot more targets because in the system you do. I thought the back out of the backfield, and I thought the chance to move the pocket more, I thought was something that he could do that I saw him do at West Virginia. And so definitely getting the ball in the backfield. There's so many backs. I think I listed 4 guys, and one guy, I'll be honest, I had no idea who Kenneth Williams was.
Hey, he's a stud, isn't he?
Kenneth Williams caught the ball in the backfield, put a move on a dude. I was like, okay. I wrote nice hands, nice route.
Loves that guy.
Russell Rule brought him up last week.
He did. Yeah. I had never heard of him until I saw him catch a couple balls. But, I mean, he caught a couple balls, looked really good. Quentin Ives even caught one on it's kind of like a little fade corner route. Makai Nelson looks dynamic, man. He is so quick. Looks like Jamal Charles a little bit. I mean, he looked good out there.
He's silly.
He is. He's got some talent in him. He definitely does. He's going to make the guys look bad on jerk routes.
Hey, you know what I like? He defies the whole light skin thing because he's not that nice.
Hey, I don't know about how many light-skinned people are always nice.
He's one of those pretty guys that is not that nice.
Yeah. Well, where he from? Where's he from?
He's a tough, mean kind of. He's a dog.
My kid just did a whole thing on environment versus how you're born and all that stuff. He did that, and I truly believe it's you're born evil, but a place where you're living. Hey, he's a Pennsylvania kid. I mean, all Pennsylvania people are mean, man. It's just part of part of growing up.
Look at this one.
Oh yeah, no count. Mean as a rattlesnake.
Pennsylvania people, man, and Wilkes-Barre too. They get no respect.
Hey, I'm not even supposed to talk about this, but I gotta slide this in.
You walking around like you were the cock of the walk yesterday at the practice? Is that what you gonna talk about?
No.
You just big time. I'm walking with Coach. Look at me. I'm David.
That
I'm
wasn't-
walking with Coach. I got Coach over here on one side of me. Coach is like tapping me on the back. Damon, you the man. Look at you. Good job. Way to go. You were walking around like you was in charge of the place. You look like Frank. Frank from American Made. That's what you look like.
Oof. Are you done now?
Okay, yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
You done?
No. I was very excited. Tried to wave at you. You didn't wave back. I remember you can't see, so I was like, he couldn't see.
Yeah, I don't know if I saw you.
He didn't know who that was.
So at one point, this is the only thing I'm gonna say about yesterday because I'm not talking about practice. He did something, Makai.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I said something to his running backs coach. I didn't say anything. I just looked at him.
Mm.
And I went over to Makai and I just was like, ugh. That's all I said. Ugh. It was so filthy. I was like, I have to go. And I was talking. I was like, I have to go say something. I know I'm not supposed to. I have got to go say something to this young man. It was, and he's not very big.
No.
I mean, he's a little guy, but he's a monster. I was like, I get it, and he does like Kenneth. But you know what I was surprised? You know what I was surprised about? And I know we try not to get into this and overhype it, but it matters. It definitely matters. Their body types. If you can't, because if they were frumpy and not built well, then we would use it as a negative. But when you look at their change in body types, I mean, come on, man. They
look at that O-line. Look at O-line.
Line.
The whole O-line. The whole O-line, man. They were right in front of me for the majority of the time. You know, I still had the binoculars out too because I'm getting old. And I was looking at it and I was like, dude, these are some big fellas. And they're all, remember, I used to get mad because they didn't have no definition back here. It used to drive me nuts. I'm like, I have definition. I don't even lift no weights. They had no definition. They all got definition now, bro. Every one of them got some tricep. They don't tricep presses.
I just like the fact that the new guys don't look that much different. You know, so I don't look at KP and Spindler and I'm like, oh, there's so much better. Like, I'm pleasantly surprised with the O-line, even though they've been so banged up.
You know, I was a little upset about, and I know this is a pet peeve of mine, but Newari's legs, man, they skinny. Is he not doing any leg presses, or is it just like his body? I know some people are genetically legs just don't get big, but he got this big old trunk and he got these little old legs, which kind of scare me because those guys a lot of times, well, they can be injury prone, obviously, and sometimes they get knocked off balance because they don't have big legs.
You like how much teaching there is?
Oh, yeah. I thought Braden, man, he was working. Again, I get binoculars there on the other side of the field, and he was just working that simple concept. You know, it's a 3-on-1 where the guy pulls or comes around a T stunt. And I was like, man, he was coaching them up, and each one of them. And if you did well, you know, huge congratulations. If you did poorly, he worked with you, made you do it again. I thought, a lot of good coaching out there. Even having Snow out there working with some of the defensive backs, I thought was really good too, having a wise guy out there like that. I watched this little number 28 kid out there. He looked good. He looked pretty good. He's kind of thick. He's thicker than I remember him being. Just putting on a muscle.
He's going to play in the post, like that post safety.
Okay.
He's going to
heavy dime.
He's going to have to get his little narrow behind down in the box.
Yeah. I was impressed by, this is something you used to talk about all the time. Like who are going to be the dogs, which side of the ball? Those defensive backs, they had a day. And I know we always show all the highlights of the wide receivers catching the ball, but they had so many knockdowns. They had a couple flags thrown on them, but they were aggressive. They were hyped. They were jumping up, giving you nothing from you. Other defensive backs impressed me.
Yeah, I always, but I'm going to need that to change back. I need some offensive guys on that side of the ball too to clap back because I like balance. You know, because DB is always kind of what they do. I need some D linemen, I need some O linemen, and I need some wide receivers.
Well, you know who impresses you when you just watch him move is Keona Davis. Like, just watch him physically. We say the word athlete sometimes, and that doesn't necessarily mean that you shoot the ball well or you can throw the ball well. Sometimes just the way you carry yourself, you look athletic. And that's what I see in him. He just looks really athletic, really athletic.
He has some Julius Peppers to him.
Real. So that's one of the greatest athletes in the history of the NFL.
You know why I say that?
No, seriously, one of the greatest athletes in the history of the NFL.
Give it context so people don't think, because I'm definitely not in the Kool-Aid camp yet. They got a ton.
Sure. Right.
I like the fact that he is his footwork is outstanding, but he's still he's so young that once you teach him, like he's going to be that much. I mean, what Pep did in college was a lot of natural.
Sure.
That's a lot of what KD's doing now. Like, wait till he gets the technical stuff, right? Where, I mean, head down, you get down, or you don't feel pressure, man, squeeze. Don't get vertical. Like those little things that you're going to learn through experience. And sometimes he's a lot like Shavers, where sometimes last year you'd see those guys were good enough athletically to make the play, but they didn't do it right. And you can only have so many of those.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Levante David his first year.
Yeah, you can only have so many of those before defensively it just him.
Schaefer's as a drop linebacker, he's got great footwork. I watched him on that drill they ran over every time he went through his time. I'm like, he's got really good drop.
What was the first thing you saw
from him, or just in general?
In general.
Well, the defense was out there when we got out there first, so it was just the defense initially. And I was trying to watch I watched the defensive linemen the majority of the time they were out there, and then I watched the defensive backs until the offense came out and they started going. But the number one thing, the body types were big. I agree with that. I circled a bunch of guys that stood out in terms of their size and just the look. Once the offense came out, I know you said he looked similar to the other ones, but Elijah Pritchard though is built like a man. He looks like a 28-year-old man out there. He's impressive looking.
I always like the guys where it's hard to see what their number really is. It's just kind of like, scrunched.
It is. And a lot of guys, there are a lot more guys like that now. You had to wait, for them to turn so you can see actually what their number is, even with the binoculars. I thought that the practice looked crisp to me. I love that they let us see the one-on-one, the wide receiver, cornerback battles. That's always fun to watch. It was only like, what was it, 20, 25 minutes, something like that. But I thought we got a chance to see a lot of stuff. They do that a lot. I think it helps. Rumor control is helped by fact. So you don't have as many rumors when you have facts. So allow people to see so then they're not getting in the whole rumor mill of what's happening.
Hey, listen to this, though.
Yeah.
Is Cam Ward going one now?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. I tweeted somebody yesterday the top 10 that I kind of thought was what's going to happen. I didn't put Shador in there. And I know a lot of people are still putting him maybe at 2 or maybe make the Giants move or something like that. But I don't think Shador, I think he drops out of the top 10 unless somebody stupid like the Saints take him.
Do you believe me now when I said the difference between Jackson Dart being 2 and Sanders being 1? It was closer with Dart.
I think it's close, but the more I watch a Dart, the more I don't know how smart he is. No, I'm serious. I watch him do things.
It's his style. He's constantly coming forward. You could see he would be a little slingerish.
Friendly system, though. I mean, you're in a system with an offensive coordinator or a guy who's the head coach who's one of the greatest play callers in terms of throwing ball. And still, he made huge mistakes. And what he didn't do well? I thought, going back again, watching some more of his tape, I didn't think he made the easy throw great, which always scares me because that was the problem. That's the problem with a lot of these guys is they don't make the easy throw. Shador Sanders only had a quarter of his throws over 10 yards for the whole season. I think it was like 23 point something over 10 yards. But those within 10 yards, he's a 79% passer. He makes the easy throw look good. So maybe he is a Brock Purdy kind of type. Maybe he is. But I went Cam Ward, Abdul Carter, Travis Hunter, Will Campbell. That could be M'Bow too, could go there. Mason Graham for Jacksonville, Ashton Genty, Shamir Stewart, who's a crazy athlete, Ted McMillan at 8, Jalen Walker at 9 because the Saints need pass rushers. And I put Will Johnson at 10 because he seems like he's climbing back up the board.
Yeah, I didn't believe. So 3 weeks ago, I told Ravi, I don't believe the smoke behind Will Johnson falling to 18, 19, 20. Somebody, you're doing drugs.
You can't care about the 40 that much. And I know he's not running it, but everybody knows he's not running it because he's not fast. But he's a technician. You put him in the right system, you know how good he's going to be. We've seen this before. We saw it a couple years ago with the the LSU corner, the one who had a great freshman and sophomore year, then was injured his whole junior year. And they're like, oh, I don't know about him. And then he came out and he's a good player now. But I think sometimes they worry too much about your injured year. And Will Johnson was hurt all year last year. So you got to make up for that.
I got to get you out of here on this because the Dodgers question my fandom with signing Jeff Kent. And,
yeah.
The Lakers when they first
LeBron.
And LeBron. I'm cool with Ohtani as a Dodger.
Sure.
But I'm just telling you, if the Steelers do anything with Jalen Milroe, I'm out. Out.
I don't believe you.
I know.
I don't believe you.
I know. Look, you're not going to be out. I know that. You'll be upset. Here's the good news. Okay, here's the good news. Let me give you the good from Jalen Milroe because I know what the bad is. He is an academic All-American, right? Academic Heisman finalist guy. Grew up with two parents who both were in the military, so he's disciplined. He's a great athlete, a fantastic athlete. I think you can find a place to play him in the NFL. I don't know if it's quarterback, but after all of that, and after all we watched with Jalen Hurts, and after all we watched on his development, if it's third round, I would give him a shot. I think the Saints picked 71 maybe or 81, something like that in the third round. I probably would give a shot in the third round.
Yeah,
and figure something out.
You get a wide receiver or a DB and an offensive lineman, sure, knock yourself out.
Yeah, if you get all that first, then take Jalen Milroe, right? Yeah. What you're saying?
Would. I mean, as a mid-round guy, you could get all that first.
You can get all that first, yeah, sure. You can be good.
Lose our second? No.
And you guys do a great job, and I've always said this, of letting people fall to you. You guys don't mess around. You did move up a couple years ago, but in general, you stay in one spot, let that guy fall to you, and normally he's a really good pick.
Yeah,
normally.
I'm a big con guy. It's just interesting to see them get involved in free agency the way that they're doing. I kind of like the mix because, old Mikey T can sit on his hands sometimes.
He can because he believes that he can get more out of anybody because of his motivational style. So He believes I can take a guy who is average and I make him great. I can take a guy who's bad and make him average. And sometimes that overconfidence in what you can do as a motivator, that's why they lose so many games they're favored by, right?
Yeah.
It's the weeks when they're underdogs when they win.
I feel like they also forget that if you start with a good player and then you're still a good motivator, you're going to be better off.
Oh yeah, I'd love to get a good player, but
let's start with a good player.
I'd love to get a good player, but you draft them sometime, you think they're good. What was that wide receiver you guys took at Damon? Lyman Swede. Everybody thought Lyman Swede was a good player. Maybe he wasn't. Lyman Swede wasn't good.
Just straight up for Kenny Pickett. I mean, no, never mind. It's fine.
Wow.
That Kenny. So those two drafts, the Kenny Pickett draft and the 2011 draft.
Okay.
Those are your quarterback drafts.
These are all see-through, and if the wind picks up, both you guys are getting knocked over.
I mean, what do you got?
Saints can't manage
Trey Lance at me.
Saints can't manage the cap.
Oh no! And look, we're $28 million under the cap. What you talking about?
This guy for the Niners, and he's got like 34 guys on the roster.
Robbie, did you look at the over under the total Vegas total for Niners this year?
Was it like 5.5?
No. Did you see it?
No.
Oh, bro, please wait. Look it up. I want to be here when you put it. Look it up. Look it up so I can see your face.
You are so.
Look it up. They got dropped yesterday. I believe DraftKings put it out first. But look it up. What is it?
Win total.
What is it?
Let's see here.
He's the worst Googler.
Oh no, he's my wife. Come on, man. You can Google. Put the keywords in. Good keywords.
Hold on.
2025 NFL win totals. That's what I would go with.
It's killing me.
10.5?
Haha, see? Isn't that incredible? Didn't that shock you?
No.
Doesn't that shock you? 10.5. That's
said
incredible. I know. It's like almost double. It blew my. I thought it'd be like around 7.
I'm gonna hammer that under.
But obviously people believe, at least Vegas, that the best way to get money is to go 10.5. So they must know something. They like your moves, man. You got moves like Jagger. That's what you got.
I don't think Jagger's winning 10.5 games.
Well, Purdy maybe. Maybe he'll win it.
You are too much.
McCaffrey will be healthy all year, right?
Sure, yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Ayuk, you got something to prove?
I'm sure it'll be fine.
I don't know. That injury was ugly. Those guys usually need a year.
But
don't worry, they got Ricky Pearsall.
Nowadays. Ricky Pearsall, bro. I mean, the man got shot, came back and played like 3 weeks later. He's a brother, really. I mean, honestly.
He's the Teddy Roosevelt of NFL.
Now, why does that make him a brother?
Why? I was thinking of the Alabama kid that got shot in the leg. He came right back too. Who was that? Remember? Robinson. Yeah. That's why I think he's like a brother. Because white people don't get shot that often. Come on. I mean, honestly. I mean, outside of presidents and overseas in general. Come on, be serious. We ain't got to. I'm not stereotyping.
Incredible. All right, man.
It's okay. Hey, you guys have. Is that my guy Rob Dvorak right there?
Yes, it is.
And who's the
shorts?
Is that who that is? You know who he looks a little bit like?
Who?
Young Jameis Winston.
Oh, kind of.
Yeah, a little young Jameis Winston. Yeah,
kind of does.
Yeah, I had to break out these two guys because their ability to develop will be important.
Oh, Dvorak is so good, good at his job, and just quiet too. Don't say much.
I love him. He's a stud.
Severe. It's a pleasure as always.
Thanks for having me, guys. This was, as they say in the movie Few Good Men, I follow orders or people die. Sasha told me to call in, and so I follow orders or people die.
Do I have tickets for the gala?
So let me tell you this. I sent a wonderful text to Sasha saying, "Hey, Cool Breeze, how many people you need from Hurrdat?" And you know what I got back?
Crickets?
Yeah, I got crickets back. And so I had to send Anna to go talk to her so she could text me back. And did she text me back about how many people she needed? No, everything else.
Maybe
nothing about the tickets.
Maybe she DM'd you.
Severe, I will.
I wish you would DM me.
I will figure this out for you. I will get
so
you.
Are you one or two?
Who, me?
Yeah, you can be one or two. You a plus one, or you just you by yourself?
Oh, just me. Natasha doesn't want to come to that.
Okay, that's fine. So Rob, I got Ravi down. I know he's coming. I put one down for Sautter, I believe.
Yeah.
So she just needs to send me a list.
I'll give you a number.
Okay. Yeah, you get me a number, and I got a table. It's in the back. No offense.
Come on.
I mean, you know how this Trump's America, bro. You're in the back. Sorry, Holmes. You ain't coming to front.
I was all the way in the front last year.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. Not this year. Have you seen what happened inside? You be glad you're still here. El Salvador's calling, kid.
Damn.
I'm just saying.
Start carrying around my passport.
I used to do it all the time when I used to go out to California in the summer. I'd always have an ID with me because I'm pretty Mexican looking. Pretty Mexican looking, and they're like, "Hey, how you get over here?" I'm like, "I was born here." Yeah, sure you were.
The ambiguously brown trio. Here we go.
Exactly. Damon's the only one not getting harassed. They just know who he is. You know,
he's getting harassed for different reasons.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, you know, driving while I get it. Driving while binning.
Yeah, see you at the rehearsal, maybe. All right, buddy, be good.
All right, see y'all later. Bye.
Everybody loves Severe. Nobody gets Severe like we get Severe.
Oh yeah,
that's
the best version of Severe.
Isn't he wild?
We might have to have him on regularly.
He is wild.
Coming back, I think Sautter might join us. He was in the stream for a while, then he pieced out, then got tired of waiting.
One from a Mike to a Jerome.
We'll see if he comes back. That's DBM Ravi Lulla, Hurrdat Sports Live.
For Hurrdat Sports and for Borsheims, it is our big game chain player of the game. It's Jace Ola. First and foremost, Jace. I mean, the Xylos have had a pretty good month the past couple of weeks here, you know. What's it mean to now get this award? I'm not sure that, I guess Cade did get it at state wrestling, but the rest of the Xylos probably have some catching up to do now.
Mm-hmm. No, it's pretty cool. I mean, it's exciting to be out here, and it's awesome.
You had a good start today, got 12 strikeouts in a 4-2 win over Elkhorn. Big matchup, top-rated matchup. Walk me through how you knew you were going to have a big day early.
I mean, right from when I was in the bullpen, like the command of everything felt good, and just had a lot of energy. So it was a great team win.
Had 2 hits in there as well, so you swung the bat a little bit. And your teammates really got going there as well. Is this a good offensive pace you like so far early in the season?
Yeah, I mean, we obviously had a lot of hits that game, just didn't really string them together. But we've been swinging it pretty well, and I'm excited to see when our whole lineup gets going.
Welcome to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Centris Federal Credit Union. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla, reminding you that you've got to get out to centrisfcu.org because they've got you covered, and it is the credit union difference. It's people caring about people and people helping people within their communities. Bottom line is credit unions are focused on you. It's centrisfcu.org to check out all of the products and services they have available: checking, savings, auto loan, home equity, mortgages, just about anything you can think of, even financial counseling to make sure you're on the right path. It's centrisfcu.org, federally insured by NCUA and an equal housing lender. You want to get a little hoops here, DB?
Yeah, we can do that.
There's some basketball going on.
Do you like my mic? Is that okay?
Yeah, you sound good.
Okay, my bad.
Yeah,
all right.
No, you're all right.
All right.
No, we had some basketball last night. It was a good time. The games were okay.
I don't know about
they were
a good
okay.
time. Yeah.
The time was good. The games were okay.
Yeah.
Like, I enjoy watching basketball, so I enjoyed myself. But the games were only okay. They had stretches where they were fun to watch.
No problem with Cal not using the timeout?
No, I actually prefer it.
I don't have any problems with it either.
I am an advocate for unless something is breaking down and you're like, I don't like how this is going, about playing it out in the open court. I firmly believe you're going to get a better look more often than not while the defense is scrambling than you are, especially, you see it a ton, especially when they've just hit the go-ahead shot.
I'm with you.
They just hit the go-ahead shot. There's a tendency to be like, oh, shoot, we're going to win the game. Yeah. And then they have that half-second delay. There's a scramble to get back on defense. You're going to get a better shot in that situation more often than setting something up. And
I thought his answer was fantastic. He's like, yeah, 99% of the time that's what I would do. But given the outcome, sure, it'd be easy to say I'd like to use the timeout. No. But I liked his explanation and kind of walking through what he's thinking. He's like, that typically works for me, in my experience.
Open court play in that, I think, is the better option.
I thought he was extremely good.
And let's
not
pretend like any of us think that Cal is particularly gifted on the X's and O's.
Yeah.
So it's not Mac, right? It's not like we're going to sit here and be like, oh, man, he's so good on these out-of-bounds plays.
And
setting something up.
We've seen Mac. We saw it this year.
Yeah.
Not use the timeout.
Yeah.
Hey, run it.
I think it more often than not, you will get a better look against a transitioning defense versus a set defense.
Yeah.
That's not rocket science. That's basketball. You can't play the results on that. They did the right thing. And it wasn't, like I said, it wasn't a super great look, but it wasn't a bad look.
Yeah.
They had an opportunity.
Especially how the game went, too. Texas Tech, you got to feel like they stole one.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
But they hit that flurry of three. Because, everybody says
needed that for the bracket.
Everybody says 16 at 10 minutes left or whatever, but it was still 10 with about 4. Yeah. And then they sort of hit that flurry of threes, and you're like, oh, no. It kind of got on top of Arkansas in a hurry.
And then the frenetic way that Arkansas plays actually hurt them.
Yeah, it's that's the rub, right? Because you can sort of avalanche people that way, but if it starts going the other direction, it can get away from you in a hurry. It's kind of like trying to bottle the smoke back up.
Yeah,
it's really, really challenging. But no, I thought it was the right thing to do in that situation. Overall, though, wasn't a great game because it was sort of Arkansas would play well, then Texas Tech would play well. You didn't have a lot of really none of the games yesterday where both teams were playing well at the same time because it was the same thing in Duke, Arizona, right?
Yeah. See, I actually thought people watched Alabama and are thinking, oh, Duke could be in trouble. No, both teams were not exactly, because Duke was better offensively than they had been.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of that had to do with Arizona.
Yeah.
That was who Arizona was. I mean, they rode Caleb Love's heater.
Yeah.
I mean,
they live and die with him most of the time.
I mean, he had that 3-game run for him was
really, really good. And I'm not a fan.
I've seen that before. Yeah, I've seen it, and I'm still not a fan.
But the good that, like, when he's good, it looks like that, and you look like you can beat almost anybody.
Yeah, and so I was surprised Duke let it get as close as it did down the stretch.
Me too.
Because, I mean, they could get whatever they wanted to offensively. They just
sort of got complacent. It felt
like content to give up some points there, but that is who Bama is capable of being.
Oh yeah.
So that doesn't, and I liked BYU. And I mean, I was kind of the BYU.
Yeah, no, they're good. BYU's good.
It's a good basketball team.
The thing that
they got drilled.
The thing I talked about yesterday with Austin was, and I picked BYU to cover. I thought the one thing that could get away from them was that pace can wear on you, right? And we saw that because it was sort of a slow bleed at first, and then they bled out, right? It was like, hey, they're kind of staying within 3 to 5, and then they were staying in within 5 to 8, and then the dam broke, and they didn't have anything left, and it ends up being a 20-point game or whatever. But yeah, Alabama's super capable. And this is the other thing I kind of had to guard myself against with Alabama, is not everybody's going to be able to dice them up the way Florida does, right? And that's hard to get out of my mind, just seeing Florida run layup lines to the hoop against Alabama, because I'm like, oh man, they're terrible defensively. Then I look at Ken Palm, I'm like, well, they're top 30. That's actually pretty good.
When's the last time you've seen a head coach handle the situation of a good basketball team like Willard did?
Oh, in what sense? Like like his coaching deal, or
just kind of,
or just coaching the game?
It just seemed to sabotage the whole deal.
Yeah, I don't have an example off the top of my head, to be honest.
That would be really hard. And I don't know what he's telling the players.
I don't either.
You know, maybe he could very well be telling these guys, say, listen, you're going to hear a lot of things. This is some gamesmanship. I really want to get to the administration. Don't pay attention to anything I'm saying.
Out in public. Like, the truth is here. The truth
this is for you guys.
Yeah.
He very well could be saying that.
He could be. I will say it's hard not to look at the way Will Wade handled it and think that's better. Like it's and it's really
play well and I'll take you with me.
No, just being honest about, just being upfront about everything, right? Be like, yes, I'm going to NC State.
Yeah.
Yes, some of you are going to have an opportunity to come with me. Like I think there is I think sometimes, and somebody was talking about this in the chat earlier too, sort of this gamesmanship with closed practices and everything's a state secret and everything like that. And I understand some of it to a certain extent, but especially when it comes to coaching rumors. And I get going from McNeese State to NC State is different than going from Maryland to Villanova, right? Nobody blinks twice about the McNeese State saying like, yeah, I'm going to NC State. That's duh, right? But I do think there is some value just being like, hey, this was sort of, I don't want to get into the Patino thing again, but this was sort of my argument about like just being more upfront about stuff. I genuinely think it makes your life easier. Right? It's not just about me and the things that I want. I think it made Will Wade's life easier that he's like, yes, this is out here. This is true. I'm going to coach my ass off for you until we're done, but I'm going to NC State when the season's over. I hope you understand, and I hope to take some of you with me. Right? Like and maybe Willard doesn't know what he's going to do, but to acknowledge it, to be like, yeah, I haven't been thrilled about some of the support we've gotten.
So you're taking him at his word when he's I don't really know. I don't know what I'm going to do.
Well, I don't know.
I haven't even talked to my wife.
I don't believe.
He might not have.
Maybe. People have different relationships. I don't know.
And if he really was trying to do one job at a time, maybe that's not something you take to the house.
Maybe.
I mean, it could be you could want a different environment at the
Sure.
crib, right?
Sure, that's fair. I don't know if I believe him.
I mean, I probably would.
You probably would or wouldn't talk to her.
I wouldn't.
Yeah. Until it was over and then you figured it out later.
Yeah.
Yeah. I probably would.
I mean, but you're talking to like probably the king compartmentalizer though.
Sure.
Like I can, as you know.
Yeah. You box in.
Yep. Because that's just how. It's just how.
Well, and you have to sometimes, right?
Yeah.
But I'm much more of like, hey, this is all out here. This is the landscape. Let's figure it out. Let's navigate, right? And for me, that's easier. So that's what I'm drawn to. Like I'm drawn to a Will Wade who says like, hey, this is the deal. Let's figure it out. Like that's what catches my eye, and I'm like, hey, I appreciate that because that's how I would operate. But that doesn't mean it's necessarily the right way, but it is what I prefer.
Yeah.
And
I do wonder what his team was privy to.
Yeah, that's the really challenging part because we can't know.
Because when you look at how the game unfolded, I wasn't disappointed in Maryland's preparation early.
No. It got away from them for sure.
Well, that's kind of what Florida does. There's There's a 4-minute stretch where you have to handle the wave.
Mm-hmm.
It came late in their last game, but it got them the victory.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a stretch where it's almost like they say to themselves,
what was it, like mid-second half yesterday, basically?
Yep. It's like, okay, whenever we get ready.
Yeah.
And then against UConn, it was late.
Yeah.
But you could totally tell it's like, all right, now's go time.
Yeah, and I don't know for them if it's like a switch because some teams that know they're really good will sort of consciously flip the switch, or if it's one of those where it's like, hey, if we stay at it, eventually it will come. And I think those things are different. I don't know which one it is for Florida.
I could see the consistency of just sustained good play.
Yeah. Like if we just continue, we talked about this with wrestling the other day, right? Where you can't lose focus for a second. That's sort of how it is playing Florida, right? If you lose focus for like a 2-3 minute stretch, that one's going to get away from you. That's what happened to Creighton against Auburn, right? They didn't really have it. They didn't play their best for about a 4-minute stretch in the second half, gets away from them. Boom, it's over. Same thing happening in St. John's in the Big East Championship.
Should that Michigan game be more than 8.5?
Is that what it is right now?
What does Kenneth have it?
Yesterday, I believe he had it at 8.
Kenneth?
Let me see if it's changed.
Kenneth Pomeranian.
No, that's a dog.
Pomeroy.
Yeah, he's got it at 8, 80-72. So 8.5's right. I mean, or close.
Okay.
What do you like tonight?
I definitely like Tennessee.
Okay.
I don't think they should be favored.
You don't think Kentucky should be or you don't think Tennessee should be favored?
No.
So
Kentucky's got their number.
So you like them because the number's so weird compared to what you think it is.
And it's big.
Yeah, 4.5. Yeah, it's not like a push them.
Yeah.
Or pick them.
Give me Tennessee.
4.5.
Yeah. Every day is all day till the cows come home.
Ole Miss, Michigan State.
Boo. What's the number?
3.5.
Ooh, that's actually what's Kenneth have that? That seems about right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that seems about right. Like if I just went rapid fire, I would take Ole Miss, certainly lock up Tennessee. I would take Auburn, and I would try to make mortgage with Houston. Houston may drill Purdue.
Yeah, that's what Nick said yesterday.
I'm serious.
That's the one he looked at and go, that one might get away.
And you're like, well, why wouldn't you lock that one up? It's almost too easy.
Yeah. So it smells fishy.
It's a terrible matchup.
Yeah.
I don't know how Houston doesn't win by 15, 16 points.
So Houston's an 8.5-point favorite. The line is that's the line. Ken has it at 7. Auburn, Michigan, line's 8.5. He's got it at 8. Tennessee,
tight lines.
Tennessee, Kentucky, it's at 4.5. He's got it at 3, so that's the biggest difference there. And then Ole Miss, Michigan State. I was going to look at that one.
I like Tennessee.
He's got that one at 3 as well, I believe.
You want another sport too?
Always.
If you're looking for something to string.
Or no, he's got Kentucky, Tennessee at 5. Excuse me. He's got Michigan State, Ole Miss at 3.
I like Tennessee.
All right.
I like your Red Sox.
Okay. Why is that?
I
finally brought you over to the light.
No. No. Although the East is crazy.
Yeah.
Because I could easily see the Yankees missing the postseason. Except for there's no real great teams in the AL.
Mm-mm. It's going to be – like I can see them being disappointing. It's going to actually be hard for them to miss the postseason, I think.
But it's going to be a struggle.
Yeah. Like, I don't think they're going to be great, but I don't know if anybody in the East is going to be great, honestly.
But that's a good. It's a good division.
It's competitive, but I don't think there's a great team in that division.
Yeah, I think
you like Hauk over Leiter.
Yeah, I do.
All right,
I do.
Let's ride with the 120. Is
that what it is?
Minus 120. Yeah.
Yeah. Why can't they play games in the day though?
I would love it. I love day baseball. Day baseball.
Why do you want to go against college basketball? You have the whole day.
Yeah.
Is there an afternoon game?
No, I don't believe so. Let me check here.
I don't think so either.
There's one.
3 o'clock. Is it 3 o'clock?
Rockies Rays is at 3.
Ooh, your Colorado Rockies.
Not my Colorado Rockies.
Shane's Tampa Bay Rays?
Yes.
Actually, that's my buddy Chris's Rays.
Yeah?
Yeah, Kermanic. Diehard.
Arkansas guy?
Yeah. My man was getting into games for like $10, $8.
Yeah.
Yeah, he used to live down there. Huge. He's a Rays guy.
You got to love the Bay.
And he's like kind of frugal too.
Sure.
So he's all in on the Rays.
That would be nice. Just like walk into a big league ballpark for $10.
Yeah. And the team, they were good.
Yeah. Just nobody went.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm here to tell you
Was
right
that
now.
like during the Joe Madden stretch?
Yeah.
Yeah. Those teams were pretty fun to watch too. If they weren't in the East, I would have enjoyed it.
That's why I was happy that the Dodgers pillaged their front office.
And Glass now, right?
And well, I'm talking about the Dodgers changed with Friedman.
Yeah. No, 100%. 100%. Yeah.
Like, he's the dude.
It's always funny to me when you get the small market guys that have always had to have like a budget, and then they get to a big market team, and it's like, oh, look at all my stuff.
I got a lot of new toys.
A lot of disposable income here.
A lot of new toys. To come back with something when, we can't because we got Verz. I'm kind of surprised because Severe and I haven't had this conversation, and we obviously talk a ton.
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised he's all in on Dvorak because I still think Dvorak flies under the radar.
He does. I forget about him.
I think he flies.
If I'm being honest, like I just forget about him. Not like a. It's just not a guy that comes up a lot.
Yeah.
You know, and it's not that he's not. It's not an indictment on him at all. It's just we don't hear from him a ton, which we don't really hear from most position coaches. So that's not unique.
Yeah.
But we just don't really think about it. But have we had a problem with the linebackers at any point? Group always plays pretty well.
Yeah, and he's the talent's a little more
now
top end.
I mean,
I'll be curious.
2 years ago, did anybody think we'd be missing John Bullock? No.
We didn't get to my boy Gift's testing either.
4.55?
4.45.
I thought it was 5.5.
Man, all the reports that I've seen all have.
That's a different conversation then.
And he's standing broad jump 10.6.
That's pretty good. Athletic.
I'm telling you, man, the dude was going to be a good tester. And he had a sports hernia all year last year.
4.45 and 4.55 are very different things.
Although I don't think that's the difference between him being a good player or not.
I don't either. But in terms of testing, those are vastly.
I mean, you saw the difference a pro day could make, though. I mean, Giff is now on the radar, and Hill may be off.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if that. I mean, that's about showing up, though, right? I mean, that's a.
You just don't do that.
Keep showing up.
You just don't do that.
That's your thing, right?
Although I think his coach is still. I still think.
I think Rule will still go to bat for him.
Yeah, he's going to try to go to bat.
But sometimes you got to help yourself a little bit. Just a little bit.
Most of the time.
Not asking for a lot.
It's a start.
You got to show up. That's the bare minimum there. We'll be right back with more Hurrdat Sports Live.
Aspirations can drive us. Sometimes a simple gesture is what fuels the pursuit of a dream. When it's time to make your dream a reality, we are here to help. Centris Federal Credit Union. We are where you are.
Howard in Lincoln because we got to see a portion of practice today, and we also had media availability. We heard from Coach Holgerson, Dylan Raiola, and Ja'Cory Barney. Let's start with practice, though. The thing I was preaching the most in year one was how much instruction and coaching that was going on in these practices. That hasn't changed in year three. Hearing the amount of instruction and teaching all over the field from all the new coaches was the thing that stood out the most to me. Every time the coaches would coach really hard, they always had some sort of positive reinforcement. The other thing that we mentioned last year that was big from Coach Rules, he loved hearing his own players coaching other players. We heard that today as well. Speaking of one of those coaches, Dana Holgerson spoke to the media today. He mentioned how grateful he was for the 4 games he got last season and how that's helped him focus on some smaller things in the spring and get ahead of the curve.
Well, first of all, I say, those 4 games were valuable. It's exciting. It's an exciting time. I mean, the off season was great, learned a lot, and 3 days into spring, the effort, the energy, all that's really good stuff. So I'm fired up about where we're at right now.
We've got some exciting news here to elevate your March to the next level. Introducing Menu Madness here at Hurrdat Sports Bar. This isn't just any tournament. This is a bracket featuring 16 of our most popular food items, and you decide the winner each week when your favorite items go head to head. And here's the best part. When you vote, you're automatically signed up for our free loyalty program. So what are you waiting for? Head over to Hurrdat Sports Bar to watch your favorite team, the biggest games, and get those votes in for your favorite menu item today.
The Mizuno and Oklahoma State softball story is a story of growth and success. After getting to visit the team this fall and watching practice and talking with Coach G, I am confident in this team this year.
The best you is really dang good. I mean, it's really good, okay? So just be that. No more, no less.
Lightning in my fingers, and I'm nice on my feet. Heavyweight big swinger, got you saying double while we're counting to 3.
Mizuno and Oklahoma State softball are built for big moments.
Brace yourself.
You're listening to Hurrdat Sports Live. Now let's find out what Matt Vrzal is better at. Telling stories or making pizza.
Matt.
Matt's an exceptional young man.
Matt Vrzal.
Happy birthday, Matt.
You know, Matt, he's a tremendous athlete.
Matt Vrzal.
Come on, Matt, I'm with you.
You know, like Matt Vrzal, you're one of the sexiest people in the world, but you're not one of the most beautiful. How does that happen?
Here is Matt Vrzal.
All right, Matt, thank you very much.
We're back here on Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Centris Federal Credit Union. We're here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill, where our menu madness continues. Come in, check out great menu items, get discounts, and win cool prizes here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill. We are joined now by Matt Vrzal, former Husker, owner of Pisons. What's up, Verz?
What's up, fuckers?
You dummy. What's up with you? How you doing?
I'm just living. I got to sleep in Friday.
Oh, there you go.
Oh,
Yeah.
no. Are they out of school today?
I don't know, teachers needed a day off or something. So no
Mental
school.
health?
No school. But it might be a purge day on that senior assassin thing. Like that. I would have loved to do that in high school. How fun would that have been?
Wait, so how do they get down over there? Because everybody's a little different.
So you get a name, and then that's who you got to go squirt gun. But you just knock people out, and then once you get them, then you take their person. If you can't you can't shoot them in school, you can't shoot them at church, you can't shoot them at games. Like last night, I went and watched the baseball game, and the wrestler Ziola is out there, and if you have your goggles on, you can't get shot. So he's standing there watching his brother pitch, and the kid that has him comes walking down the path. And I love the Ziolas. He instantly goes on the offensive. He goes, bro, don't even think about shooting me at my brother's baseball game. Just don't even think about it. And the kid walking down the hill is like, I'm not going to shoot you at your brother's baseball game. Relax. Like, I'm not going to do this. Now, if I was the kid,
I'd have said it anyway.
I'd have went out and waited by his car.
And
that game gets over, and I'm just gonna boop, see ya. But no, so they'll have a purge day. So now everybody that's in your free game, and they don't got school, so all the kids that got practice are probably a little nervous. But yeah, no goggles work, no nothing. Like if you're out in the open, you can get got.
I saw a squirt gun on TikTok that it's motorized. It's the little blue one that has the clip. They got some sweet toys these days. Somebody's bound to get hurt because they're reckless, but
they're pretty cool.
I mean, this was a straight Christmas story. You'll shoot your eye out.
That's just natural selection, bud. We got to let natural selection happen.
Ver's a big survival of the fittest guy.
Get rid of the dummies.
We don't let kids get hurt.
Darwin Vrzal.
But we don't let them fail. And then we wonder why when they fail later, they freak out. It's like, oh, this isn't right. Somebody's got to come pick this up for me. It's like, no.
Well,
I've learned a ton more from my failures than I have of any successes.
Yeah, but pretty okay.
And when you wake up in the morning, and my self-talk is not great, but I'll wake up in the morning when I've got myself in a bad spot, and I just look in the mirror. I'm like, hey, fat ass, you better get yourself out of this. I do.
I thought you talked to the dough.
No, that's only on Scott Fridays. I don't talk to the dough how good the dough is. This is like at 3:30 in the morning, dude.
Oh, you'd be surprised what I'm doing at 3:30 in the morning. It's usually
I don't want to know.
It's gonna say
do not want to know.
Usually watching TV, Matthew.
Uh-huh.
It is.
Okay.
I binge a lot of shows.
Hey, thanks for answering both my calls this week. I appreciate that.
Did you call me yesterday? You know I couldn't use my phone. I was on lockdown. I can't even take it. Did you call me yesterday morning?
I called you 3 times. You didn't call back.
That's not true.
Hey, but I beat your ass.
Wait, what?
I beat your ass in the poll. I won.
What?
I'm the meanest.
Oh, there's no question.
Yeah. Oh, it's a lot closer than you think, big dog. Like you won by a vote. I won by a vote.
I mean, between me and you, it's not even close. You're the worst.
You have a distorted version of yourself because you won by a vote.
I don't know. I think you probably doctored the question on you.
No, it was done by Hurrdat.
That must have been an Austin Jacobson special.
Yep. Thanks, Austin.
if anything,
no, because both you guys, you're Grand Island, he's Kearney. I mean, there was the sway.
No.
That's what it is. Hey, I got a question for you.
Great.
How good do you think Justin Evans Jenkins could be as a center?
I think he'll be good at it. I think I've always loved his feet. I think for him, I don't think snapping the ball is going to be a problem. I don't think, I like him there because he's going to be running the show. Like he's got the most experience with the offense. He's a bright kid. So I think it's a good move. If I'm some of the other guys on the line, I get a little nervous about the ones that get brought in. Like I better up my game quite a bit. They're pretty good. They play really well. So I like it.
Let me ask you something, Matthew.
Bedemundo.
Could you see a deal? because I just wonder, like the Porteth giveth and it taketh away too, right? You got the 105 roster, like the numbers are going to be what they may. Could you see these guys? And this isn't just a Nebraska thing. This is a college. This is kind of like WWMD. Like, what would Matt do if you're like coming off an injury or you're a tweener and you've maybe had off-season surgery? Could you see teams or schools or players staying there to get healthy because you've already got their team docs, then maybe shopping your services later on someplace else? Like, let's say the writing is on the wall for some guys. Like, could you see that being a thing where, you know what, I'm going to rehab here, I'm going to get healthy. These guys know me. They did the surgeries or whatever the issue is, and then you kind of you know you're going to eventually be leaving anyway. It's like no, maybe.
Sure. I mean, it all kind of, I think, depends on your relationship with that existing staff. Like, hey, guys, here's what's going to happen. And I think kids are very perceptive now. I think they'll get a feel of what the coaching staff and what, they're kind of looking at. Like, hey, as soon as you get healthy, you're back in this spot, blah, 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 blah. But I think that's part of the responsibility of the school. Like, can you imagine if a school, it's like, oh, he got hurt, so we let him go. He's not rehabbing here. Like, I think that's a tough look. I don't think any school would do that. But if the kid wants to use it for the rehab and get out, that's what this whole scenario has created. They've created it where you don't have to be loyal to nothing. You can just 100% look out for yourself.
There are some times where if it's going to be on the university's dime, I could see myself taking that surgery or whatever.
Yeah, Roots did it.
Oh,
tore his knee, did the rehab, and then transferred.
Right.
Yeah.
Old Gentle Ben. I love that.
Went to NEO and then ended up at KU.
Rock chalk.
I mean, you see it in the pros every once in a while where they'll kind of like sign a deal, and a lot of times they'll have an option in there to opt out, knowing full well they're probably never staying at that place. Like, I don't think it's super uncommon. It's weirder in college a little bit here, but I do think, I mean, like Verse said, it, especially a place like Nebraska where you've got good facilities and things like that. I think that's something. I mean, you can't be dumb not to try and take advantage of that.
You'd have to have some pretty open conversations. Like, if you weren't going to be able to go through spring ball, or be out for a while, like, you'd have to. There's got to be some open dialogue that has to happen, don't you think? Because you're not going to have a chance to compete.
Yeah.
And thanks for expounding.
I mean, yeah, sure. Ravi, are you okay after Creighton lost?
Yeah, I'm doing all right.
Did you cry?
I thought this was about their ceiling, honestly, for what this team was.
Oh, here we go.
Can you?
Well, Creighton fan can backpedal like a DB, backpedal like a Revis.
Can you vouch for what I thought the ceiling of this team was?
Yeah, he got murdered in the chat group for saying that Creighton wasn't very good.
Yeah, it's like
the J on J crime,
dude. It was a massacre.
Like,
did they take away your sweater vest?
I still have all my vests, Verse. Don't you worry.
Hey, how does
took
Murph
away your wine
feel
card?
about your condescending tone sometimes?
What?
How does Murph feel about your condescending tone about the J sometimes?
He giggles. He just laughed. Like when they left the other night, I was like, hey, I hope you coach great, but I hope Creighton loses. And he just laughs. Then Mama Murph gets pissed. She's like, don't say that. All right.
I think Murph is the only one over there that still likes me.
Murph's the best. Buddy, that dude is the best.
I still don't like me very much. No, Murph is great. Murph is the dude.
What'd you do? Why don't they like you? Did you wear a red shirt or something?
No, because I will talk openly and criticize when I think things aren't going well.
Oh.
I've been told that's not very popular within some people in that building.
How dare you? How dare you form an opinion? Speak about it. How dare you?
I know. I'm the worst.
Sorry.
How dare I be so thin-skinned that I get mad about it?
Hey,
but you can't talk bad about in-state schools.
I know. That's my mistake. I didn't learn my lesson.
What are you, new here?
I should have got that in my welcome package to have on the show.
You're mad.
What a turd burglar. Good old Ravi Revis now backpedaling.
Backpedaling to what?
Hey, write a handwritten note and say, I'm sorry that I criticized whatever I did wrong.
I'm sorry.
Blah, blah, blah.
I'm sorry that I accurately assessed the ceiling of this basketball team.
Love Ravi Lulla. Love always, Ravi Lulla.
That's a lot of L's.
I heart you, Ravi Lulla.
What are you doing with the lobby open? Just business as usual now without the Scott Friday?
Yeah. That's just how it goes. If we don't have to do the mass catering, everybody's open.
Are you excited about that?
Get on and hope she don't buck you off.
I'm sorry, what?
It's exciting.
Get on and hope she don't buck you off.
I believe that's like a rodeo deal or something. Maybe rodeo.
He said it.
Sometimes it gets out of control. You feel like you're gonna get bucked off, and then you just
got a mouthful of marbles over there that he's chewing on. I couldn't understand what he said. How many are we rolling with this? That's childish. How many are we rolling with today?
Enough.
What's in there?
I think me and you need to come over today. I need to fight you. I always like to punch you.
I like how you just casually popped up in the old. You didn't like the line of questioning?
Yeah, I think your attitude's kind of off today. I think I need to adjust it.
Who talks like that?
Hey, are you going down to practice?
Yes.
I think me and T-Bone are going to run down to one of them.
Hey, did you see the email?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not messing around. That's what?
It's like, what? Okay. Number one, who is sitting down at practice? Like, who is somebody like lay? Like, there's no sitting or kneeling. I'm like,
no squatting either, Verse. No squatting.
Listen, man, some of these dudes that want to come watch this are old as shit. They can't stand there for 3 hours. So let them sit. And then it's like, you can go inside and sit in the Hawks. It's like, well, you ain't practicing in the Hawks. So you put me in timeout? Now, I'm just being a smartass. I get it. They got rules and stuff, and it's their organization. They can do with it whatever you want. But if you don't think that I didn't call that guy that sent that email out, who's a teammate of ours, and was like, what is this?
Hey.
He's like, man, don't even start with me.
Oh, yeah. He nipped it in the bud immediately. He's like, man, these guys are just about to be calling, blowing up my phone.
Yeah. I do though. I did see he's a team champion or whatever. So we're on team foreman, me and you.
I'm telling you, Matt, a lot of guys aren't pumped about being physically active. They may have to make a few minor adjustments.
In practice?
We're not being very good sports. You could run around without feeling like you're going to kill yourself, right? I know.
Were you trying to get us like an old guy flag football game? Because I don't want to do that.
Would you do? No, I don't really want to either.
Like
you would do a skills comp. You just wouldn't do like 7-on-7.
You don't want this. I'll drop that cannon out there about 75 if you want one.
That's a lie, but you.
I got a hose. Don't act like you don't know I got a hose.
Don't act like either.
I can spin a football.
Yeah,
I know that.
I'll give you that. That is 100% accurate.
It's because he's a baseball player. He's got the arm,
and he can do like sorts of tricks and stuff. Yeah, he's got good. I'm not giving any comment.
Motor skills is what you're talking about.
No, it's not it. It's not it.
It is.
No, it's not. It's
so what? Do they want old guys involved in this?
Yeah.
Oh, they do.
Yeah. I don't know how they're gonna pick. Right. I don't know if they're gonna do like online or
generations.
So
if you were 4 years before and then after Will Compton, you can be on his team. 4 years after and behind, you can be on Jay Foreman's team. Boom, solved it. How have they not hired me? I got so many good ideas.
These are the things he says to me in private.
I got Wesleyan as a feeder program. I got that thing set up. I mean, come on. Give me a gray area and I will find a loophole.
Got one of your teammates in the chat.
Hey, so T. Farley's in the stream.
Hey, what up, T. Farley?
One of the good dudes. What is he doing?
What's he say? I can't see the chat. This is racist.
He just says Matty V.
Marty.
He said he's on team. And you know, Trouble T. Rail is teeny. Like a little dude.
Hey.
What?
Let's get a 40 and let's put T. Farley on the line. Let's get an old guy 40, man. T. Farley will bust out a 4.4.
So,
yeah.
Him and his show co-host, I think we're gonna race at some point. But then VJ got in VJ looks like
took a dose of reality and was like, I don't want to do that.
No, Vershawn is little. Vershawn can't be but like 212.
And T. Farley is fast.
Still?
Oh. I'll guarantee you. Ooh, he's probably 50.
No, VJ's 48. And
how old's T. Farley?
They're about the same.
Okay. I bet T. Farley go out there and go 4.7.
I love Farley's my guy, and there's no way.
He's calling the Darryl Green. He's going to run his age.
There's a way.
He said, man, please. I pulled my hamstring last year running.
Hey, we got 3 weeks of training, T. Farley. We got 3 weeks of training.
I'm gonna bet you lunch so bad.
Speed don't leave you.
You
know that. Speed don't leave. All he's got to do is get out, get a couple starts in, work him out, maybe do some flying hundreds.
No way.
I got you.
4.7 is fast at 50 years old.
VJ 50. VJ reclassified when it wasn't cool to reclassify. He's 2 years behind us. Or is he just 1 year behind us?
He is 2.
Yeah. And how old are you?
50. 51.
How old am I?
Gonna be 51.
Yeah, in July.
Yeah, I know.
And you're old. God, you are old.
All right, buddy.
Hey, what could you run?
What could I run?
Yeah.
4.9. 4.9.
Okay. So you're telling me you can go run a 4.9, but T. Farley can't run a 4.7.
Yes. That's fast, Matt.
I know.
I'm just telling you, that's fast.
I'm going to call Campbell. We're going to get T. Farley in some training.
He said flying hundreds. I like how you're just volunteering him.
I think you should race T. Farley.
I think not.
I think you wanted to participate. I'm finding a way for you to participate.
Skills, man. I don't want to run around and be active.
I'm just going to try to get hired as Foreman's assistant coach. That's going to be my participation.
Wow. Well, you got the hotline. You talk to him as much as I do. Just ask him.
Well, I think I already got myself hired. I just hired myself.
Of course you did.
Congratulations, Verz, on the new job.
Hey, come over here. Let me rough you up a little bit. We got to talk.
Will I be your first pick? No. All right, buddy.
You're going to get that right there.
That's Matt Vrzal.
Right in the ribs.
Hurrdat Sports Live.
Hey, hold on.
What?
What's up with the Bud fight? How are we progressing on that?
We'll talk.
I ain't talking about your exit music. I got questions since you're asking me about rehab, and then should they leave after rehab?
Hey, Shane's on the exit music. That's not me.
Shaner, calm down back there.
Look, he's scared to death now.
Shane stops.
All right, fuckers. We'll see you later.
Shane
All right, buddy.
Shane stops working at 10:00 on the dot.
He's like, yeah, I'm out.
Farley says he'll race Will Compton. All right,
he might be Compton.
Let's set it up.
He might be Compton.
That's the show for the day and the week. We'll be back with Hurrdat Sports Live on Monday.
See you. Have a good day. Love you.